Hello there and welcome to the final of the US Open, the year 2020. I'm joined here with Eddie Edwards, and of course we all know what's going on. Let's take a look there. 22 yards, they've played well, and so does Atlanta Param Veers, so they're locked in a battle today. Beautiful weather here, and let's take a look at the Param Veers first of all. Chris Gale, the universe boss. We've got Param Patel, Darkan Kumar Patel, Damian Ebanks, Wayne Parnell, Johnson Charles, Marquino Mindley, Gart Garvey, Stephen Taylor, Roland K2, and Evroy Dyer. 22 yards Sultan. We've got the likes of Trevon Griffith, Ahad Malik, Asad Ali, Ashmed Ned, Dane Pete, Christopher Barnwell, Kevin Sinclair, Jesse Singh. He's the captain. He's the man leading the ship tonight. Devendra Bishu, Sherfin Rutherford, and Andre McCarthy. The news out from the middle is that 22 yards have won the toss, and they've elected to bowl first, as they have done in the semi-final. The weather is brilliant sunshine here in Lauderhill, so no threat of rain. This is gonna go the distance weather-wise, and so we are all set. The umpires are Aditya Gajar and Jermaine Lindo. So here we are after the whole week of competitions. We're down to match number 15. And that is the grand final. I'm joined in the box with Eddie Edwards. And Eddie, as we look at 22 yards Sultan, they're having their last word of inspiration, last word of plans. And I'm pretty sure, having won the toss, electing to bat, they could come up with a plan that could see if it works. If you look in the background, the big man, universe boss, he could be one of the starters, along with it could be Darpan Kumar Patel, who could partner the universe boss. In fact, I see Johnson Charles will be the man to start today, and once they get to the middle, it will be T20 Cricket at its best, as the 22 yards won the toss, and they've elected to bat against the Atlanta Param Veers. Welcome and good morning, Eddie Edwards.
Well, top of the morning to you as well. 22 yards, they feeling they would have won the toss and decided to field. And the Param Veers, they opening their count with, or opening the batting with, fresh out of the Sri Lankan League, the big man himself out of St. Lucia, none other than Johnson Charles.
Yeah, didn't get among the runs yesterday, got 3, but I'm pretty sure there's another day for a cricketer to live on. And he's come out here with Patel, so it's gonna be a cracker of a game. 22 yards of quite likely would have, having won the toss, quickly decided that they'll bowl first. A plan that really worked for them yesterday, and it's just been over less than 24 hours. So they're gonna want to push on and play the same style that they did yesterday. And Ashmed Ned, it appears, is marking out his mark, and he could be the man to start here for 22 yards.
So the sun has left us momentarily, and I'm pretty much sure, as you said, that it was a preempt decision, I believe, that winning the toss was going to be a situation that we're going to field first and put the opposition in to bat. Let them put some runs on the board, and we will be able to manage our bowling department, so let them score as less runs as they possibly can.
Yeah, they took care of Somerset Cavaliers, one of the kings of the series. And why not? If that plan has worked, they have gone with the same method so far as the toss is concerned. And so we're just about ready to start. It appears Patel will be the man on strike, and Ashmed Ned, who's bowled very good in the series, he will start things off with 22 yards.
So Darpan Kumar Patel, the right-hander, just putting on the gloves now. All that is done. Settles, awaits the arrival of Ashmed Ned, the youngster out of Guyana, on his way to bowl to Patel. Patel gets a delivery, looking to slash it down towards point. Did make contact on the ball going through to the wicketkeeper, and he collects cleanly, and there is no run.
So Ned picked up 2 for 17 yesterday. And relative to that, very, very good figures, Eddie.
Yes, indeed. Here is Ned, just getting some moisture on his hands to grip the ball properly. As we watch, he's about to move into bowl to Darpan Kumar Patel. Looking to swing it down towards the mid-wicket backward of square. We didn't make contact. The ball just hit him on just above the right pad. So it is early going. Seems like, well, the sun has left us. No dark clouds hovering overhead. That's a good thing. Pushed out in towards the short goalie area.
So Darpan Kumar Patel, his score in the series have been 13, 9 and 24.
This one is played back along the track. The wicketkeeper comes and does the fielding.
Yeah, this has been a very tidy over from Ned. He's a quality spinner. We've seen him in the series already. And of course, would have played briefly at the CPL level. So, good exposure for the young man. And of course, having played at the West Indies junior level.
So, great talent there on his way now to bowl to Patel. Patel looking to sweep it down towards backward square. Let's see if he got an edge. The ball coming down below the scorer's boot here. They're coming back for, well, that's all it will be there. So, it is 2 runs. So no signal coming from the umpire.
Yeah, great work here by Trevon Griffith. Saved a couple of runs. The ball, after going through a French cut, was running down to the fine leg boundary. But Trevon Griffith, very agile in the field, very fleet-footed. Wherever you put him, he's gonna save runs for you, Trevon Griffith. He's certainly one of the live wire of the 22 yards. So, and we know in T20 cricket or any cricket, every run save is a less run to reply to, Eddie Edwards.
Yes, indeed, it is. And as we watch Ashmead Ned from the far end, left arm over the wicket. And he's bowling. He was asking for that because just about every delivery that Ashmead Ned would have bowled to Darpan Kumar Patel, he was playing across the line, and it was only going to be a matter of time before he would have lost his wicket. And he goes comprehensively beaten and bowled by Ashmead Ned for 2 runs.
Yeah, I had no plan to Ashmead Ned. Never looked settled against the leg spinner. And so he goes with a big swipe, misses the ball. The light goes up on the stumps, and that means it's time for you to take a walk to the shade. It's 2 for 1. Good start here from 22 yards. Good start from Ned. As the big man, the universe boss, he walks out and he comes out here. And he batted brilliantly last night. And so along with Johnson Charles, 2 international West Indies player, Eddie Edwards, this is going to be a treat to watch.
Yes, indeed, and the over comes to an end. So who's going to bowl to Johnson Charles? We'll just have to watch and see. So with these 2 players out in the middle, lots of experience, particularly from Chris Gale. We have lots of T20 under his belt, a couple of hundreds as well. So it's going to be Jesse who's going to pick up from the southern end, and he'll be bowling to Johnson Charles.
Yeah, Jesse picked up 1 for 17 in the semi-final. And will come into bowl to the aggressive Johnson Charles. Didn't get among the runs yesterday, got only 3. But you know, Eddie Edwards, a player like Johnson Charles, he's not going to continue to fail. Don't expect him to always make in the vicinity of 3 runs. His day will come. Could it come today?
Well, today is the day that they're depending on him. Didn't need him much last night because they was pretty much always in the driver's seat. And the driver was driving well, and that was Chris Gale.
So a packed offside field. Jesse has bowled well in this tournament. He has stayed on the 5th and 6th stump most of the time with good carry. And I want to suspect that could be the same mode of operation here towards Johnson Charles. And of course he will have to adjust that to the big man Chris Gale being left-handed. But for now, Johnson Charles facing up to Jesse Singh. 2 for 1.
Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Johnson Charles. Charles gets the delivery right outside the leg on the off and slaps it down towards cover. This will run away for 4. Easy as Sunday morning. Lenny.
Yep, penetrating the offside field. Fielder giving it a little bit of dive. Might have been Sinclair there. And just couldn't hold on to the ball. So 4 runs off the bat of Johnson Charles. But it really penetrated a packed offside field. And Jesse Singh, as expected, still hanging outside the off stump. In that occasion, Johnson Charles winning that little bit of battle here. Ball going through still the net.
Must be having the whole of St. Lucia glued to the television set and rocking after that shot. Here is Jesse on his way to bowl to Charles. Charles gets a delivery that straightens up on him. Push it out in the cover, and there is no run.
So the top 5 batters of the tournament so far. We've got Hemorrhage with 190 runs. Stephen Taylor with 139s. And Stephen Taylor does have a chance to get up to 190 if he comes good tonight. Hemorrhage, of course, with Somerset Cavaliers, they have been knocked out. And then Zishan Ashraf, he's gone also. It's 135 for him. Chris Gale is still alive in this series as he's batting out in the middle. He has scored 121 so far. And then man number 5, Kinar Lewis, 119 in the series.
Jesse on his way to Charles. Charles with the just slapped it down towards wide third man. So it's a single, has coverage on the boundary. So Charles goes up now to, he's 1. Well, he's actually 5. That lovely shot in his first delivery. That went to the boundary. Lenny.
So the big man, number 333, batted extremely well last night. Got a 65. And really has been among the runs partially. He got 39 in the first game. Got 17 in the second game. And got 65. He's 4th on the most runs of the season. So far, 121 behind Hemorrhage, Taylor, Ashraf.
Here is Jesse from the southern end on his way now to Christopher Gale. Turns it off the pads, gets a single. The return came in at the non-striker's end, trying to surprise Gale.
So Jesse Singh is gone for 6 in the over. He's a quality bowler, Jesse Singh. He's the captain. And over the years, in the last 4 or 5 years, Jesse Singh bowling has developed pretty nicely. And these days, he's part of the U.S. pace department.
Jesse on his way now to bowl to Johnson Charles, the right hand out of St. Lucia. Slapped it down towards third man again. Third man is wide. And gets a single.
So good start here from the Atlanta Param Veers with 7 runs on the board in the first one. First ball of this over would have gone for 4 through the offside. So relative to that, Johnson Charles and Chris Gale, they put 9 on the board so far. We've seen the departure of Darkan Kumar Patel for a couple of runs. Never had a clue as Ashmed Ned bowled a brilliant first over to start.
Was a nice Christmas gift. Early Christmas gift, I might add. Jesse Singh on his way now to bowl to Gale. Gale gets a nasty delivery, a Yorkerland delivery, and he does it out there, Lenny, with great deal of patience too.
Yeah, good bowling here from Jesse Singh. The over's gone for 7. But considering the first ball went for 4, nothing of substance happened to the other 5.
If I might add, Jesse Singh on his way now to bowl to Gale. Gale gets a nasty delivery, a Yorkerland delivery. That was a nasty one too.
It's 9 for 1.
So after winning the toss and inviting the Atlanta Param Veers to bat, they are 9 for the loss of 1 wicket. Over number 2 has just completed. Christopher Gale is on 1. Johnson Charles is on 6. That's the latest score here from the Central Broward Regional Park. So Lenny, here comes a certain Mr. White in the commentary box just behind you, listening in very keenly. So Ned is going to continue, and the sun has disappeared just a wee bit. Looking to turn it down towards the final leg region. A little half stifle appeal, but not outside the umpire.
So the quality bowling of Ashmed Ned continues. First over went for 2, but more importantly got the wicket of Patel. Now he's bowling to Johnson Charles, a very attacking and a man who likes to play shots.
Turns it off the pads. Gets a single, so 1 more to the total. It is 10 without for the loss of 1 wicket.
And Eddie, the fact is, both of these teams would have met in the league stage of the competition. They come out of Group B, and they would have played game number 2, a game dominated by the Atlanta Param Veers, with 22 yards on that occasion, batting first and scoring 111 all out. Not a very good day for them. And in reply, the Atlanta Param Veers got to 114 for 4. Gale got 39.
I think young Stephen Taylor had 41 in that game as well. So you think it might have been a psychological thing for them, though, to have won the task and asked the Atlanta team to bat first?
It's always a bit of head-to-head advantage.
Ned on his way out to bowl to Gale, leaving alone a delivery that pitched outside the line of the off stump.
And the fact is, you've got to be careful with head-and-head calculations. Had this tournament been decided on not necessarily net run rate, and they would have gone to head-and-head, then 22 yards would have been knocked out
early. That pass Ned. Just going to scamper through just for an easy single. Just jog their way through. So it's early going yet. It is 11 for 1, and we're into over number 3, being bowled by Ashmead Ned from the far end.
And Brampton Pacers, both of these teams, as we mentioned, are coming out of Group B. Atlanta Param Veers and 22 yards. Atlanta Param Veers heading the group, and coming into the last game, it was the Brampton Pacer on top. But by virtue of a big margin of win from the Atlanta Param Veers, they were able to go on top, and Brampton Pacers, they were pushed down.
Ned on his way to bowl to Charles. Charles tucks it out towards mid-wicket. Just a single. So they're dealing in singles. The fours, I'm pretty much sure, are hard to come by at this stage, but they'll take whatever they can get now.
Yeah, and if someone is watching and not too sure this is the U.S. Open, they might be thinking the West Indies is playing here, because we have Gale and Charles. Both of them are still in run for West Indies selection, so you might be thinking West Indies is playing here.
That's true. So Ashmead there on his way out to bowl to Gale. And driving out towards long on. I don't think that the young man is under any pressure there to bowl to Christopher Gale. You think, Lenny?
Well, we saw last night from Gale. He took his time. He worked the ball around.
So that was his field, and it went for 4. So you can say Gale gets a 4. He gets into the 4 act. So Johnson Charles is 8. Gale is 6. 16 for 1. And we have seen the completion of over number 3. So Jesse Singh is going to continue from the southern end. And he'll be bowling to Johnson Charles.
Yeah, we've seen 3 tidy overs here from 22 yards. They've played well. And they've picked up 1 wicket so far. So any day you would want to take 16 for 1 at the end of 3, considering look who's in the middle. There's no one else on the planet who has played better T20 cricket than Christopher Gale. And Johnson Charles, he's another attacking classy player.
Jesse on his way now to bowl to the right-hander Charles. Charles just swinging away down towards the long leg region and into the boundary for 4. Jesse Singh guilty of overpitching and strain down the line of the leg stump. And Johnson Charles, with his experience, just helped it extremely well and into the boundary board for 4.
Yeah, there's no business going down the leg side for many reasons. Well, we saw one there. The batsman is going to paddle the ball. They're going to play swing shots, ball going down the leg side. And just in case they miss, it becomes a wide, so there's no benefit there. And then, of course, if it hits the pad, it's sliding down the leg side. Good umpires will not give a decision like that. So no benefit going down the leg side. Limited overs cricket. You've always got to be on maybe leg stump, middle off, or just outside off.
20 for 1. Jesse Singh. Here's the man in operation from the southern end on his way. Johnson Charles is the batter. Looking to turn it down towards mid-wicket. The ball ricocheting off the outer portion of the bat and find itself down towards third man.
So a little bit of similar thing that has happened to Jesse Singh. His first ball in both of the overs have gone for 4. But relative to that, I think Eddie Edwards, when you look at Jesse Singh, he's a USA product. He plays all this cricket in the United States. And he's playing 2 of the best in the West Indies, 2 of the best in the world. And we all know the exploits of Gale. And relative to that, he has kept them somewhat quiet. You can't complain. You can't complain with his bowling figure so far. He's still bowling in the power plays. And I would say Jesse Singh is bowling very good at the moment.
On his way to bowl to Gale. Gale turns it out towards mid-wicket. Gets a quick single. So Gale is motoring here. He has taken off like a horse there out of the barn.
Yeah, good throw from Devendra Bishu. And Devendra Bishu has played some smart cricket right there. He realizes that Gale has never been the quickest runner. So you've got to, once you get the ball and they're trying to run a single, you've got to target the end that Gale is heading to. So smart feeling there from Devendra Bishu. Could have been closer.
So 22 it is to 1 Jesse. To bowl to Johnson Charles. Dropped on the pad. There's a loud appeal from Jesse. Jesse Singh not outside the umpire. And Jesse Singh seemed like he's a bit surprised there, Lenny.
Yeah, might have been high. Probably heading down the leg stump too. So
dropped on the pad. There's a loud appeal from Jesse.
Defending champions Somerset Cavaliers have been dethroned. And they were knocked out by the same team feeling here. Jesse Singh and his boys, the boys in red. And Atlanta Param Veers, they got the better of US All-Stars. So here they are in the final 2, game number 15. And that will bring the curtain down in another successful Cricket Council Series. Paul throw the onside and it goes away for 4. Off the bat of Johnson Charles.
That was a ferocious shot. From the moment it left the hand of Jesse Singh, it went to the bat and then from the bat to the boundary. Good looking shot from Johnson Charles.
Yeah, lovely shot. Jesse is trying to test the hooking ability of Johnson Charles, and Johnson Charles certainly has won that. And what we have seen over the years, and certainly in this tournament, Eddie, this wicket might not be that kind of wicket you want to test some of the top batsmen in. Maybe a local batsman. The pace of Jesse Singh probably will work, but not Johnson Charles.
Not at all. On his way down to bowl to Charles. This will be 4 more. So all of a sudden, the little man out of St. Lucia is dealing in 4s all along the ground. 2 consecutive 4s now of this over from Jesse Singh.
Yeah, Jesse Singh has given away quite a few in this over. He's now gone for 21 in a couple of overs, so he's been expensive. And the first part of the over, the former part of the over, started pretty well, but towards the end things have fell away. We see a pull through the onside, and now we see a shot towards the backward square area. So a couple of 4s here for Johnson Charles. He has now struck 4 4s. He's up to 21. Gale is on 7. It's 30 for the loss of Darpan Kumar Patel.
So this is, of course, the US Open 2020. We're in the 12th year of the competition, and this is the finals.
So Dane Pete, it appears, has been given the ball, and a man who has played at the South African international level.
So with 30 for 1, he comes into the attack. And he'll be bowling to Christopher Gale. On his way to bowl to Gale. And this will go away for 6. Very easily done there by Chris Gale. The umpire raises both hands in the air, signaling 6. So Chris Gale, 13. That was a lovely shot.
Yeah, that's the first 6 of the match. It comes from the big man himself.
To Gale. And this will go away for 6. Very easily done there by Chris Gale. The umpire raises both hands in the air, signaling.
As an off spinner here to spin away from Gale. And throw the offside again. 1 bounce, and that's 4 more runs. So 4 more runs to the big man. It's 40 on the board.
Crazy stuff out in the middle from Christopher Gale. You can't afford to bowl Gale there with so much room. And the width was there as well. He just stretched forward maybe an inch or so and just slapped it 1 bounce into the boundary board for 4. previous delivery went for 6.
Yeah, Dane Pete, while he would have played international cricket, he looked ordinary in this tournament, and he's gone for 10 and 2 balls. Not good here for 22 yards. Well, Param Veers will be quite happy with the way Chris Gale has performed in this tournament. He batted out of character last night. Not often do you see Gale stick around for so long, but he and Stephen Taylor was able to put a 81-run partnership yesterday and got them through to where they are.
Into the finals, and that was the whole reason for him to bat pretty much deep down in the order, so to speak, because he wanted to make sure that they get into the finals. Pete on his went out to bowl to Gale. Gale pushing it forward into the covers. Comes across and knocks it down.
Yes, Ed, but if you followed Chris Gale in the last year or so, he has adopted a different approach to batting. It's not only slash and bang anymore. Oh, lofted into the onside. Will travel again. And it goes outside of the playing area. And another 6 off the bat of Chris Gale. And so an over here from Dane Pete has gone for 16. So Atlanta Param Veers turning on the pressure here on 22 yards. Expensive over from Jesse Singh. And now a big one here off the bowling of Dane Pete. Not good here for 22 yards. Atlanta Param Veers soaring at the moment. So a quick start as we welcome Lenroy to the box. Lenroy, they're going over 10 and over. Johnson Charles and Chris Gale, are we watching West Indies cricket?
Well, absolutely. Just want to say a fantastic good morning to all the viewers around the world, wherever you're tuning in from. We promise to bring you nothing but excited cricket commentary here from Central Bar Regional Park. It's the final of the US Open 12th edition, where we got the Atlanta Param Veers. They're playing up against a 22 yards team who has been playing some really outstanding cricket throughout the tournament, play as a unit, Lenny. And as you said, two very experienced batsmen, hard-hitting batsmen at the wicket, Chris Gale, Johnson Charles. We know that they can get things going and get things going quite effectively. So as it is, it's going at 47 for the last of 1 wicket. The wicket of Patel. And we have change of bowling from our commentary box in. Kevin Sinclair.
Yeah, Kevin Sinclair got 1 for 30 yesterday in the semi-final. And Gale up to 23, got 65 and 39. His prominent scorer in the series so far. So the big man, he's come here to play.
And as you mentioned about his approach towards T20 cricket over the last couple of years, been different. He's been absolutely with more maturity. Want to guide his team along the way. As you know, once he gets out, it could be a little bit of difficulty as he guides that one down to fine leg. 4 runs. Wonderful use of the feet. Just coming in the line, Chris Gale, and guiding this one down to the fine leg region for 4 runs.
Yes, bring up the 50 here in quick time for the Atlanta Param Veers. They're batting a 51 for 1. And a partnership of 49 between Johnson Charles and Chris Gale. He knows the open areas of a cricket field. He's been there and he's played enough game to know where the open real estate are.
Very classy candidate. He knows his cricket. He's very destructive at times once he gets going. And I'm quite sure he'll be looking at a target today, probably 160, 170, if not more, to put his team in more commanding position, because we saw yesterday 150 can be reachable, Lenny. And so far, good comeback from Kevin Sinclair. Chris Gale looks a very busy man and very smart cricket, just nudging this one out to short, this extra cover. Picked up a quick single. Keep the scoreboard ticking at 52 for 1. Absolutely magnificent weather here at Central Bar Regional Park. A bit overcast, very good condition for cricket. You could not ask for a better climate.
So the off spinner Kevin Sinclair One of 4 spinners in the 22 yards lineup.
Yeah, Johnson just giving himself room to heave this one over the onside. But very smart cricket from Kevin Sinclair. Seeing Johnson pulling away, just followed him along his track. Oh, this could run away. This could run away. Chases on, and it's going to get to the boundary. Down a square leg. 4 runs from Johnson. So they keep the scoreboard ticking. They're not really getting big maximum 6s, but for some reason in between they're getting the odd boundaries, and that's important. That all adds up, Lenny.
Yeah, they're going at 9.3 per over, so that's a very good start in the first 6 over of the match. Both Johnson Charles and Chris Gale have had a good feel of the ball coming onto the bat. And so far we haven't seen any bowling of substance here to really restrict the batsman below 8, below 7, below 6. The only bowler, Ashmid Ned, 2 overs, no made, 1 for 9, has been quite effective. But other than that, we've seen Jesse Singh going for 21 and 2. We've seen Dane Pete, who's gone for 16 and 1, and now Kevin Sinclair has gone for 10 and 1. As we see, it appears to be Asad Ali.
Yeah, we know Asad Ali can get the ball to move back into the left-hander. A very effective bowler. And let's see if he's going to be equal to the task to the universe boss, Christopher Gale, who looks to be in the party mood. It's the last game, it's the final. So he'll be trying to get his team off to a very good start and hopefully get them to a target beyond 160, 170. He takes a look around just to map where his fielders are. And in some circumstances, then it doesn't matter where they are, because Chris Gale can be so destructive. He clears the boundary most often time rather easily.
Yeah, sure. He's picked up a couple of 6s already. 2 6s and 3 4s for Gale. Now, Lenroy, you were mentioning 160, 170, 160 and 170 is on the high part of this ground. The average score in the ground has been like 135, 145, around that area. And what we've seen in the series so far, once you get up to possibly 150, it's gonna be a competitive total.
Absolutely, the track has been playing pretty decent as well. But as you mentioned, past score is 135, 140. Gale punches down too long off. Should get a single quite easily.
And the fact is, one of the reasons I think that the par score was kept a little bit low, what we saw in the league stages, we saw when the weaker teams won the toss, they batted quickly. They batted first, so that prevented the likes of the Atlanta Param Veers and 22 yards to really bat first and put up maybe better than 140, better than 135. But that's the way the things are set up.
Absolutely, and it does push you to, you know, what you're going to go out there to get. And as we saw, maturity of innings from Rutherford yesterday, he bat magnificently, scored somewhat 60 odd runs. Johnson cuts and down to backward point. Well done from the man out there. Moving to his left, Sinclair. Fantastic save. That would have run away for 4 if he didn't. Got hands to it. So those are the sort of effort in the field that could.
Yeah, Lenroy, your bowling attack is as good as
he bat magnificently. Scored somewhat 60 odd runs. Johnson cuts and down to backward point. Well done from the man out there. Moving to his left.
What Englishman? 3 of them at Providence Stadium.
Absolutely beautiful Providence. He goes on the onside through mid-wicket. He's thinking about 2, but we know Gale is not the quickest of runners between the wicket. He doesn't run a lot as one would expect him to, but he doesn't need to. He plays massive shots. He can catch up to that in less than 5-6 deliveries. Yeah,
so far Gale has struck 2 6s and 3 4s. And speaking of singles, he has run 5 singles already. So relative to that, Gale is running today.
Absolutely. 5 singles from Chris Gale is absolutely brilliant stuff, one would say.
So Asad Ali from the far end. And Lenroy, you've played cricket long enough. Just the presence of Gale in the middle. That psychological pressure they put on fielding teams, because you never know. You never know what's coming.
Yes, absolutely. From the moment you know that you're playing against Chris Gale tomorrow, it's already in the thought process.
And the fact is, unless or until Chris Gale goes back to the hut and is dismissed, I'm telling you, 22 yards, they're not sleeping well.
Absolutely not. Because Chris Gale, just to think that Gale is at the wicket, me as a bowler running into him, I've got 6-7 things flashing across my mind. Should I pitch short? Should I get it up there? You never know with Chris Gale. Johnson Charles did this one down to mid-wicket for another single. Asad Ali been bowling really superbly. This could be overthrow here, and rightly so. The batsman very alert enough to see it was a mistake from the fielders and capitalise on that, and the run rate has dropped significantly to 8.7. At one stage it was at 10.5.
Yes, Lenroy, but still healthy enough in the early stages, and the point we were making all along, Chris Gale approach to batting in T20 cricket has really been different from, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago. He's really applied himself more. He knows he can hit the ball at any time he wants. And right, what we saw last night, we saw responsible batting. Spoke to Stephen Taylor. And Taylor said, you know, he was very impressed with the way Universe Boss and him approached things, and he was really inspired that he was able to take singles and work with the big man.
And absolutely, if you look at the analysis of the games that have been played so far, each time the Atlanta Param Veers lose a wicket, it comes to like a collapse. They lose 3, 4, 5 quick wicket in quick succession. So I think Chris Gale would need to stay there, get the score up to probably 120, and then, you know, we got the likes of Stephen Taylor, who can be very explosive as well. A US batsman, Stephen Taylor, very elegant left-hander. Gale plays and misses outside the off stump. Very good stuff here from Sinclair, keeping Gale rather quiet.
So the man keeping there is Ahad Malik. Man, I'll tell you an interesting thing about Malik, and as Gale is defensive. So the man keeping here, Malik, would have been drafted with the Rajasthan Royals in the early days of the IPL. In fact, the second edition of the IPL that was played in South Africa.
Was that? It was
2009, and he was part of the Rajasthan Royals setup. Along with other keeper Naiman Oja, who would have also played international cricket for India. The team in 2009, Rajasthan Royals, was captained by Shane Warne.
If I'm not wrong, Rahul Dravid wasn't a part of that setup back in 2000, and I quite think so. But Sinclair is bowled 3 deliveries to Chris Gale and kept him pretty rather calm. But we know Johnson Charles at the other hand, he's no rookie with the bat.
So big partnership on top here, 60 runs so far. And both Johnson Charles and Chris Gale, they're busy men around the world. Always a T20 tournament going on, and always would see Johnson Charles and the likes of Chris Gale on the list.
This time Sinclair just straying down the leg side, waiting to see the official signal from the umpire. Signal legs by. So Sinclair is doing a phenomenal job here, Lenny, in the circumstances of the game. He's been bowling really tidily, not giving the batsman any sort of room to accelerate the arms, and that's just exactly what he needs to continue to do, as this one is worked on the inside from Johnson Charles for a single.
So 4 runs off the over. So the partnership has gone up to 63, 65 for 1 at the end of 8. And Johnson Charles and Chris Gale, they batted well so far. 22 yards. Will have to find ways to get a breakthrough here or to push the scoring rate below just over 8. They're going at 8.1.
Yeah, mid table discussion between among senior players. Just trying to see if they can get a strategy in terms of how to break this partnership. And so it seems as if it's going to be Ned to be brought back in the attack. And this young man, he has been really effective all tournament. Very young man, but his bowling effort shows that he's young. He's very mature in his approach. And we want to see if he will continue to do thus that. He has bowled in 2 overs thus far, and he has picked up 1 wicket for 9 runs. And I'm quite sure he would love to get one of these big fishes.
Yeah, in the meantime, Johnson, Charles and Chris Gale have looked planted, they have looked solid. We haven't seen any spill in the field, so they've gone pretty well.
I smell a big shot coming in this. Cuts and can't score. So there's really tidy stuff here from Ned.
So Ashmed Ned, son of Gavin Ned, off spinner from Guyana, who would have played at the first class level over the years. And Gavin Ned, he's big into coaching in Guyana. He's one of the senior coaches around there, so essentially we'll have to say one of his better product. He will have to say, well, it's my son Ashmed Ned.
Absolutely, seems he put in a lot more work into his son, and that's really good. You know, as a kid, you grew up watching your dad play cricket. You know, you'd want to follow his footstep, if not be better. And I think his dad has done a fantastic job in his development and his fundamental aspect of his cricketing career.
Yeah, he's bowling to one of the best in the world still. It's a bit of a change around in the field, and Chris Gale batted well so far. And Ashmed Ned, he's bowled well too.
He's bowled absolutely magnificent to this thus far. Chris Gale goes, and that's a long way over mid-wicket for 6. 10 rows into the stand. Absolutely magnificent shot. Fireworks here at the Central Bar Regional Sports Park. Chris Gale to a tee.
Yeah, he's gone 3 sixes now, 3 sixes and 3 fours. And that's the big man for you. If you Ashmed Ned, he's bowled well too.
He's bowled absolutely magnificent to this thus far. Chris Gale goes, and that's a long way over mid-wicket for 6. 10 rows into the stand. Absolutely magnificent. Contain Chris Gale and his fireworks. You know, that would be a remarkable achievement for Ned. But let's see if he's equal to the task. Chris Gale, will he go again, or will Ned come back with a superb delivery and try to cramp his style? Goes this time on the ground route out to mid-wicket.
Yes, Lenroy, and young Gavin Ned, young Ashmed Ned cannot be ashamed of his spell so far against Chris Gale. We've seen many bowlers around the world, many international bowlers around the world will have sleepless night when they realize, well, we're playing Chris Gale tomorrow.
The best of the best, Lenny. We have seen it. We have seen it in numerous occasions.
So Ned has gone for 8 in the over so far. A big 6 from the Universe boss.
And in the contents of the game, Lenny, not a bad over thus far. 8 runs in T20 cricket is still really decent cricket. Make that 9.
So we'll have to wait and see who will get the wicket of the big man. We saw in the earlier part of the series one being Devendra Bishu and then Mark Dial. 74 for 1 at the end of 9.
Well, I think, Lenny, in this sort of track, Chris Gale is not playing the shorter delivery to the best of his ability. If you looked at the one that he got from Bishu, he was bored, and he struggled against the spinners who just bowling at a back of a length area and skiddy on to Chris Gale. He struggled with those sort of delivery, but once you pitch it up in his reach, and give him any sort of room, you will pay the full price of going for a maximum.
Yeah, 3 times Gale have been out in the series, one by Devendra Bishu, one by Mark Dial. Both players, of course, Devendra Bishu has played at the international level, Mark Dial has played at the CPL level, and Ali Shafiq out of Multan Sultan also got a wicket of Gale. So those are the 3 men that would have picked up the universe boss. We haven't seen the introduction yet of Devendra Bishu, and Christopher Barnwell comes into the attack. And Lenroy, that's the point I was making. While Chris Gale, the imposing figure of Chris Gale, while he is in the 22 yards there, while he's in the middle, and every over he continues to bat is going to mess with the plan of the 22 yards. They are not going to be able to plan effectively how are we going to move around things once Chris Gale is out in the middle. It's going to mess with some of the plans that they had.
And absolutely, someone needs to step up to the player and say, hey, skipper, give me the ball. I'm going to get this job done and get it done quite effectively as well. And yet, so far, we've seen, somewhat 5 bowlers in the attack, and none has really been effective and getting the job done in a manner that the captain would love to see, or the spectators would love to see. They have been under the par thus far. None have been really standout of the 5 bowlers that have been used. So, could it be a change in Christopher Barnwell?
Well, Ned has gone for 18 in 3, so he's the only standout bowler. As Christopher Barnwell, he's gonna bowl some medium pace here.
But I'm quite surprised Devendra Bishu hasn't been brought into the attack. Are they saving him for the last 8?
Well, you need someone to get wicket here. I mean, the partnership continues to grow by every run. It's gone up to 74 between Gale and Johnson Charles, and Lenroy. We haven't seen any error from the batsman yet, so we haven't seen any drop catch. So they have been solidly planted so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I was the captain, I would be thinking about getting Bishu in the attack, because we're trying to pick up wickets, because we can't afford to have these 2 batsmen getting set in a decent partnership. It could be disastrous at the end, Lenny.
So swing and a miss here from Johnson Charles as Barnwell continues. And you're watching the championship game, the final one of the US Open 2020 season. This is game number 15, a truncated series this year. And it's between the Atlanta Param Veers and 22 yards Sultan. That's the first time either team are into the final. Swung away and has gone for a maximum from Johnson Charles.
Yeah, the ball was in the vicinity to be swept away over mid-wicket, and Johnson Charles taking full advantage of the situation, and even this one over mid-wicket for an excellent 6. So very good going.
The first time either team are into the final. Swung away and has gone for a maximum from Johnson Charles.
Yeah, the ball was in the vicinity too. So I think this is the perfect time. We're going to see a flourish of boundaries to come, Lenny.
Yeah, they've batted smartly, and what they've essentially done, every over that goes by, we see a boundary, and the rest, a couple of singles here and there. So they've really added it up to 8 and 7 and 8 and over.
And a wide delivery way outside the off stump from Christopher Barnwell. So just to give one of our viewers out there tuning in, they're trying to figure out what's going on with the 22 yards. They've got somewhat experience. They've got the likes of Bishu. They've got Christopher Barnwell, as we know, played at the CPL level. We got Rutherford. And a very good shot down the ground, but straight at the stump.
Yeah, that would have gone for 4, I tell you that. Would have gone for 4, but took the middle stump out of the ground. And so another run here for Johnson Charles. This is a solid partnership. 84 on the board, and we haven't seen any of the bowlers used so far, threatening any of these batsmen to get them out. And when it comes to restriction, they're still going at 8 and 9 and over. So
Gale plays defensively out to long off for a single, and at the end of the 10th over, it's 85 for the loss of 1 wicket. Gale is on 40 from 25. Johnson Charles 40 from 29. as we bring Audley into the commentary box for the very first time this morning.
Good morning to you, Lenny, and for viewers, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. It's the much anticipated day. It's the final of US Open 2020. And for viewers who are just coming in maybe for the first time, you may be wondering how did these two teams get here. But yesterday was the semifinals. 22 yards got here by beating the defending champions, Somerset Cavaliers, who made 132 for 8. In turn, they made 132 for 2, winning by 8 wickets with about over and a half to spare. And also Atlanta Param Veers, they got here by beating the US All-Stars. They made 163 for 8, Gale 65. Man of the match, Stephen Taylor, 31, and picking up some 3 wickets. And the US All-Stars 144 for 7. Thus we have these two giants battling out for the championship trophy.
So Sharfane Rutherford comes into the attack. He hasn't done much bowling this series. Pulled into the onside.
And pretty interesting bowling so far, batting so far, Lenny. The first 3 overs went for 16 runs. The second 3 overs went for 40. They upped the tempo. But the next 4 overs went for 29, a bit of lull. But of course, with all 10 overs to go and all of 9 wickets, plus the universe boss, we can see the explosion at any time.
So the partnership flourishes here as not a single into the onside. Sharfane Rutherford, we saw him batted extremely well last night. We haven't seen him doing a lot of bowling in the series, and one of the reasons you see him bowling here, things have not gone well for the 22 yards from a bowling standpoint. They haven't been able to penetrate a powerful batting order here for the Atlanta Param Veers. They've done so only once in 10.2 overs. Would have gotten the wicket of Darpan Kumar Patel so far. Since then, it has been Atlanta Param Veers all the way, by the 2 West Indian star out in the middle, Johnson Charles and Chris Gale.
But the mystery, Lenny, why no Bishu so far? That's the mystery.
Yes, oddly, we've seen Barnwell and now Sharfane Rutherford. Both Barnwell and Rutherford has not done a lot of bowling in the series, and you've got a specialist bowler in Bishu. He hasn't been introduced yet.
That was a lively ball. Rising one to the universe boss. Say, hey, boss, I'm here. Run rate pretty healthy. 8.2.
So Sharfane Rutherford trying a couple of angles. He went around the wicket, bowled a short ball to Gale. Now he's come back over the wicket. So far not being able to break through here. 86-run partnership. Relative to that, this over from Sharfane Rutherford, and hasn't really gone bad. It's only 3 runs in the over so far, but still one more ball to go. Ball nudged into the square leg area. Could they be picking up 2? Well, they're running as if they'll settle for 1. And so 11 overs gone, 89 for 1.
Very good over by 22 yards to at this stage to allow the Atlanta Param Veers to restrict them to only 4 runs in this over. That's a big victory for the 22 yards. Gale is now batting on 42 from 29, and Johnson Charles 42 from 31. Partnership of 87 so far, Lenny.
Yeah, solid start. The Atlanta Param Veers, they've only lost Patel, but you look at the partnership there, it's 87 healthy, heading towards 100. This is trouble here. And very worrisome for 22 yards as Asad Ali gets a recall here. He comes back into the attack. Didn't bowl bad in his first over. He went for 5. So,
and should one of these batters get out, we have Stephen Taylor, and he's a man informed, man of the match from his player of the match from his game yesterday. So more trouble to come.
So Asad Ali it is. Oh, ball tugged into the onside. Fielder will come around. He's done well to save the boundary. Saved a couple of runs. Sharfin Rutherford, he's been impressive in this series. He's batted well, and now look at that. A bit of great feeling here from Sharfin Rutherford. That ball had 4 written all over it. But Sharfin Rutherford made a very good save. Saved a couple of runs. Restrict the batsman to only 2. So Asad Ali it is. Oh, ball tugged into the onside. Fielder will come around. He's done well to save the boundary. Saved a couple of runs. Sharfin Rutherford, he's been impressive in this series. He's batted well, and now look at that. A bit of great feeling here from Sharfin Rutherford.
Partnership 89.
Oh, cut away by Johnson Charles. He goes up to Devendra Bishu. The man you were wondering why he hasn't bowled yet, and we're in the 12th over with a partnership of 1992 with Gale and Johnson Charles out in the middle. And I guess that's the question on everyone. Or
there must be some niggles that we weren't told about, because to have a international, a West Indian bowler, and you're in the finals, it's not like you're cruising through a group stage, and he has not bowled as yet. It's got to be that there's something not going too right with Bishu.
yeah, Bishu in the semi-final would have gotten the wicket of Andre Russell, the big man, and got 2 for 31. So it's a bit of a mystery as the partnership continues to flourish here. It's up to 91, 93 on the board.
Good penetrative bowling at the moment. As I pointed out before, the score rate, the run rate has not dropped overall, but the last 6, maybe 4 overs.
Yeah, the run rate has always been hovering about 8.1, 8.2. So, but still a lot of balls remaining. We've got some 51 balls still to be bowled, and we're in the 12th over, and the imposing figure with bat in hand of that of Christopher Henry Gale, that alone will give you some sleepless nights.
And that was a great delivery from Asad Ali. Moved a little across the body of Gale and misses outside the off stump and through to the keeper, but that was a great delivery.
So a couple of bowlers from the 22 yards team would have made the top 5 bowler of the series so far. This is the final game, and we'll go through the top bowlers in terms of wickets taken. So this one has gone away again. So another 4 off the bat of Henry Gale. Pushes the score very close to 197 for 1.
And he's just a matter of 1 shot away from his 50. Has moved on to 46 from 31. Johnson Charles can also make the 50 with just a 6, just another US fantasy 6 maximum.
So the top bowlers of the series, in terms of wicket taking, we've seen Wayne Parnell. Wayne Parnell at the top of the heap on 10, 7 of them in 1 match alone. We've got Rajesh Sharma, he's on 9. Devendra Bishu, he's playing here today, he's on 7. Damien Ebanks, he's playing 2, he's on 6. And Ashmed Ned, he's playing also, he's on 6.
or great figures. And of course, all a few of those bowlers will get the opportunity to add to their tally.
Yeah, both the likes of Parnell, Bishu, Ebanks, and Ned. So 4 out of the 5 will have a chance to get wickets here. Parnell stands at the top with 10 wickets. So this over has gone for 9 here from Asad Ali.
And it's all because of his very outstanding figures. 4 overs, 7 for 12. That's some bowling figures in a T20 match. 4 overs.
Yes, oddly, and we did meet a few people who well, we did meet 2 gentlemen who says they got a 7 wicket in the US Open.
Yes, we guess have to just check out the stats to see we can come up with figures from those matches.
Yeah, show us the proof. 12 gone, 98 for 1. And there you go on your screen. Chris Gale approaching a 50, and Johnson Charles himself on 45. What a display we've seen from the West Indian stars out in the middle. They're always hovering just over 8. This is a solid bit of display here from Gale and Johnson Charles, and the big man Christopher Henry. He has come to play in Lauderhill. As Trevon, well, in fact, Sherfin Rutherford will continue, but so far 22 yards. Hasn't found a plan to dismiss any of these batsmen, and like anything else, oddly, could they be going a little flat with their body language and certainly their approach? You don't want that to happen. If that creeps in, then it becomes even a more daunting of a task, as Sherfin Rutherford will come in for his second over. And Rutherford has done some bowling at the T20 level, so certainly he's not a guest.
And that one is struck down to long on, picked up by the fielder down there. Only one this time. We moved to 99. It's a matter of a single or something, maybe 100. How will they bring up the 100? Will it be a maximum? Will it be a 4?
So far we've seen 4 6s and 9 4s between Johnson Charles and Chris Gale. Johnson Charles, he has struck 5 4s and 1 maximum. Oh, heading down the long line, just helped away, and that's glanced away by Johnson Charles. He goes up to 49, and that brings up the 100 here for the Atlanta Param Veers. 100 on the board in the 13th over. A wayward delivery from Sherfin Rutherford, and quickly pouncing onto it is Johnson Charles. He picks up another boundary, and that brings up the 100.
Some more deliveries like that, and Johnson Charles will be doing that all day. Beautifully glided around the leg side here. Yesterday we saw a big partnership between Chris Gale, but it was Gale and Taylor. So Gale is doing it again, but this time along with Johnson Charles, and he's on 49. Gale is on 48.
So 50 to Johnson Charles.
49 no more.
Yeah, and the 100 partnership is also up. It's a 102-run partnership. He raises the bat. 50 for Johnson Charles, the West Indies player, the man that comes out of St. Lucia.
Great batting, great batting.
And so 50 to Johnson Charles. Good knock here for the Atlanta Param Veers. It's 104 for 1. Look at that in the 13th over.
Yes, and I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Patel, the owner for the Atlanta Param Veers. He's up there right now, he's glued before his set, watching his side doing very well.
So Gale, as we mentioned, would have been dismissed 3 times in this series this year. 1 by Bishu, 1 by Mark Dial, and 1 by Ali Shafiq. Who will it be if he gets dismissed here today? We'll have to wait and see on that. Many have tried. So far we've seen 7 bowlers being used. No one has been able to break this big partnership of 103 at the moment.
Maybe they could try the wicketkeeper too. 1 wide, signaled by the umpire. You know, sometimes some of these things do happen. Someone that has never bowled in a life, you have a partnership, and someone who, just bring him on, and guess what happened? They bowl such a bad ball and get a miss hit, and the person is out.
So 44 balls still to be bowled.
And from here on, I think it's going to be anything in the 170s because with 9 wickets, There they started. Just gonna be one. Not much wind today so far, Lenny. Not much. You can see the flag just moving a little bit, but it's a when it comes to the type of weather, it will be going in the 70s today, 78.
Yeah, it's a warm day out there. It gets a little bit chillier in the night towards the evening.
But so far, this has been the best weather for all the T20, all the US Open that I have participated in. Usually, sometimes it's cold, it's wet, it's, you know, everything. But this one has been magnificent weather. We had a rain delay, which I think if they were already playing, they would have just stayed on. But it's just good weather, good South Florida weather.
So the Atlanta Param Veers, they're coasting along nicely here. At the end of 13, they're batting at 108 for 1. And that's the latest score here from Lauderhill.
And Christopher Henry Gale, he is on third. He's on 49 from 35. Mr. Johnson Charles at the other end, 51 from 37. Run rate 8.3 at the end of over number 13. And Rutherford, we wait to see who will be coming on next. Having a little refreshment, a little drinks break, water break. And maybe a little message or two. Some observation that would have been.
So in the semi-final game, Atlanta Param Veers, they posted 163, got the better of US All-Stars, who fell some 19 runs short, oddly, and so 163, one of the high score of the tournament. We also saw 216 by Somerset Cavaliers as they hammered the hapless Punjab Blues.
Yeah, they were among the better teams, of course, the favorites right here in the US Open, and they played like they were among the favorites. But in the end, in the semifinals, they fell short.
So Barnwell comes into the attack. First over went for 11. And a partnership that has gone beyond the 100 mark. It's 106 to be exact. Johnson Charles, the first man to have a half century in this match. And the man on strike, they have batted brilliantly so far. Atlanta Param Veers will be quite happy with the way things have gone for them, having been sent in. And this one is high in the air. He's offering a chance. Oh, Trevon Griffith has put it down. So the chance came in the 14th over. And what a way. So it was high in the air. And usually Trevon Griffith is usually a reliable catcher. But not on this occasion. Johnson Charles survived. It's 109 on the board.
It was so high, Lenny. I'm surprised that he did not bring the brain back down with it. But he camped under that ball. And it was going, and it came down and eventually floated. He was so disappointed. He was so disappointed with himself.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith is a lot better catcher than that. He's one of the live wide in the 22 yards. We made that point. He's a safe catcher, but that's how it goes. That's how cricket is played sometimes. Oh, this time he's taking the catch. So Trevon Griffith comes up with a catch this time. The big man will have to go for 49. And 22 yards of struck have broken this partnership. Chris Gale goes. He falls for 49. It's 109 for 2.
What a catch. Now from being a villain to a hero. He just put down Johnson Charles and was feeling very disappointment. Just imagine had he taken that catch and then put away Chris Gale. No, he would have been crowned as a hero. But very good catch. The boss, very disappointed. He was on 49. We're anticipating that 50 and the explosion beyond that. But not to worry.
It's played sometimes. Oh, this time he's taking the catch. So Trevon Griffith comes up with a catch this time. The big man will have to go for 49. And 22 yards of struck have broken this partnership. Chris Gale goes. He falls into the middle. Taylor so far in the series have had score of 51, 11 and 31 just yesterday in the semi-final.
And was player of the match yesterday.
Yeah, very, very good catch there from Trevon Griffith, and oddly it was quite nice to know that Trevon Griffith didn't drop his shoulder during the earlier drop catch. And you know, a lot of fielders sometimes when they would have dropped a catch, they would be so upset with themselves that another one will come and they'll drop it again. But Griffith knows he would have had to pick up his game, which he did. Brilliant catch out at the backward point area.
Yeah, you just have to live in the moment. Whatever happened, just shove your shoulder. That's off, and we're gonna do it again. Live in the moment.
So Johnson Charles will have a new partner in Stephen Taylor. And Stephen Taylor will also have a new partner as of last night. Batted for a long period with Chris Gale, but won't be batting with the Universe boss today. He's gone. And so Johnson Charles has a new partner. Ball cut away. It's gonna race away for 4. It does so, and that's 4 runs off the bat of Johnson Charles. Too much width and short from Christopher Barnwell.
And of course, it's given the treatment by Johnson Charles. Just punch him square, and it raced away over the boundary line for 4 runs.
So a couple of wickets, one by Ned, one by Barnwell. And so we'll have to add Barnwell to the men that who would have dismissed Chris Gale. He joins Mark Dial, Ali Shafiq, and Devendra Bishu. And speaking of Bishu, he comes into action. And that completes over number 14. So 14 gone. It's 115 for 2.
But not the action that we're looking for Bishu. He was fielding down there on the deep boundary. But still, why no Bishu? That's the mystery. At the end of 14, 115 for 2. Charles on 57 from 41. Stephen Taylor 1 from 1. And the over, last over 0, 1, a wicket, 0, 4, and 1. The run rate 8.2. And I know it's not going to stay down there with just about 6 overs to go and 8 wickets. I'm still looking for somewhere in the 160s, 170s.
Yeah, the run rate has always been just over 8. 8.2 has been quite popular with the current run rate. Sharfin Rutherford will continue. And relative to the average score per over 8.2, Sharfin has gone for 7 and over.
That was a good ball, but it was dealt with the right way by Johnson Charles. The bowler put his arms in the air as if, wow, how did he get that? But he played that one. They ran a single.
So Somerset Cavaliers not in a final. They've been here in 2017. They've been here in 2018. They've been here in 2019. Absent this year. Would have been taken out by the team in red. Team out in the field, 22 yards.
So they have broken that sequence.
And the Atlanta Param Veers would have taken care of US All-Stars. Both exciting final yesterday. Top level cricket.
Shot that one down in the ground. Ran out on the offside, but no chance of a single.
So the elusive title of winning consecutive championship has eluded the Somerset Cavaliers. We've only seen one team to have done that, Trinidad and Tobago in 2011 and 2012. Men like Shazam Babwa, Adrian Ali, William Perkins, Magram. Magram, he was a youngster then. He came to that series, I remember.
Yes, and Trinidad.
He's given out, so Stephen Taylor goes caught behind. Off the bowling, a Shane Rutherford. It's 116 for 3.
Oh, that's it. Rock on moves away. As a matter of fact, the ball went out on the offside, and Taylor tried to put back to that one. It caught the edge, and was it the wicketkeeper did the rest? The wicketkeeper did the rest. So the third wicket is down. They are now presently. Yes, and Trinity.
He's given out, so Stephen Taylor goes caught behind. Off the bowling, a Shane Rutherford. It's 116 for 3.
Oh, that's a rock on move for all of that wicket. And they're planning strategies, I would assume. But at the moment, Param Veers would, I would say, they would still be on top at 116 for 3 with over 5 overs to go. Just about 5.5 overs. But the 22 yards are showing their worth, indeed. But Johnson Charles is still there, 42, 58 rather from 42. So I think that the score will be still in the 160s, 170s.
So 33 balls remaining. Param Patel comes to the middle. So Rutherford with 1, Barnwell with 1, and Ned with 1. The three wicket takers so far. But the fact is, Johnson Charles, a well-set batsman, is still out in the middle. Oddly, I was tempted to say that the game could play a little bit different now, but no. I'm going to still hold off on that a little bit. Johnson Charles is a well-set batsman, and he can turn the pressure on. We've seen him before at T20 level.
Of course, T20, where, yeah, that one was a high ball. He chased that one, and it could be dangerous. Those are the balls that you leave alone, or else, you know, next thing you're out when you could have gotten a wide for it.
So we're still probably may see the likes of Damian Ebanks, Roland Cato. We saw played a couple of big hits yesterday, Cato.
So Rutherford is generating some pace.
So this one, a good slice on the ball. Protection out in the third man area. So can 22 yards try to pull the run rate down? I mean, it's not a runaway current run rate at the moment. They're hovering still about 8, which will give them 160, which is the kind of score that we saw in the semi-final yesterday. But less the better.
Yes, Param Veers. Final ball to come over number 14, number 15. Wide given by the umpire.
So the man out in the middle, Param Patel, a name very similar to the team's name, Param Veers.
And he is the son of the owner. The son of the owner, Mr. Patel, up there in Atlanta.
Yeah, so that explains why probably the name of the team probably come one of the...
Exactly, definitely. He did explain to me the name, what Param means. It slipped me right now, but the name was given of his son.
So 15 gone, it's 119 for 3, with Johnson Charles on 59 and Param Patel on 1. So we've got 30 balls remaining. Welcome back, Eddie Edwards. We've seen the departure of Gale and Stephen Taylor in quick time, but the man from St. Lucia, Johnson Charles, still is a big threat here to 22 yards.
Anytime Johnson Charles is at the middle, don't really lick your chops. Don't celebrate until he's actually on his way back to the pavilion. Well, not actually back, but inside the pavilion, because the umpire might change his mind. So 119 for 3, and we're into just about to see the commencement of the 16th over, been bowled by Christopher Barnwell, the big man out of Guyana. So he'll be bowling to Charles, and Charles with his delivery, outside edge down to between the slips and third man and into the boundary board for 4. Good looking shot there from Johnson Charles, realizing that there is no slip. The slip coordinate is vacant, and he just opened the face of the bat and guided it away for 4. Lovely shot by Johnson Charles.
Yeah, that is because Barnwell has gone wide. So Johnson Charles picks up his 8-4-1-6. Still 29 balls to go. Where will they finish up?
Barnwell to Charles. Charles is flashing outside the line of the off. Some going down on one knee as if to say, I need some extra power to hit Barnwell over extra cover. Outside the off, some beaten. So, nice offer, nice attempt. Johnson Charles settles into his stance. Now, with the arrival of Barnwell, right arm over the wicket as he approaches. On driving. They're going for one. They want to come back for run number 2. Param Patel was coming down the track but had to send him back by Johnson Charles.
So 27 balls remaining. The question is for Atlanta Param Veers, we'll have to wait and see how many Johnson Charles gets to face in 27, maybe half, maybe a little bit more than half, but you may want to think, and of course we know Param Patel can bat, but Johnson Charles will be the man here to probably dictate things. We know Johnson Charles pretty well, so
as long as they turn the strike over, I don't think that it's going to be a problem at all. Just a matter of application on the part of those two. That one is out towards short mid-off. Brings the man wearing the number 13 jersey. So the batsman gets a single. So one more to the extra. 125 it is for the loss of 3. The Atlanta Param Veers. So Johnson Charles back in strike at the striker's end. Christopher Barnwell it is. Charles out toward mid-wicket. Just a single. So the sun has disappeared. So one more it is. One more to Johnson Charles. He goes up to 65 from some 47 deliveries. So it's 126 for 3. Slapped away. Finds Rutherford in the way. He picks up. The over comes to an end, and at the end of the 16th over, Lenny Archibald, the Atlanta Param Veers, they're 127 to 3 after an early start from Chris Gale and Johnson Charles. Only 127, not good thus far from 16.
So a big partnership between Gale and Johnson Charles. 107 they posted. And we saw Stephen Taylor coming and flashing briefly. A ball that took the edge and went to Malik, the keeper. And so far we've seen Param Patel. He's used up, what, 4 balls? He's gone up to 3. And Johnson Charles with 24 balls remaining. We'll have to wait and see. But one get the impression that Johnson Charles is going to be the man here to accelerate the innings and really put Param Veers in the vicinity of probably 150. 24 balls remaining, so we can do the math. It's going to be a lot of speculation. A run a ball will give them 151. A little bit more than run a ball will probably push the score to 165, 170 based on an 8 run per over run rate as what they have been currently going all inning long. So we'll have to wait and see. Sherfin Rutherford continues.
So he's going to bowl to Param Patel.
And Rutherford has bowled well. 3 overs, 1 for 18.
So here's on his way out to Patel. Patel slapped that over cover. The man is coming out the ball. Just Bishop takes the catch. So Patel goes. Lovely shot. That ball was in the air and traveling at a great rate of speed in the direction of Bishop. He came off the boundary, took the catch, and Patel will have to go.
Yeah, good catch there from Devendra Bishu. Came, made good ground, held on to the ball with a dive, and that's the end of Param Patel at 127 for 4. Devendra Bishu taking a very, very good catch, and another wicket goes down here for the Atlanta Param Veers as we see Wayne Parnell He's coming out to the middle, 1 for 18.
So here's out on his way out to Patel. Patel slapped that over cover. The man is coming out the ball. Just Bishop takes the catch. So Patel goes. Lovely shot. That ball was in the air and traveling at a great rate of speed. 10 times more. 127 for 4. The current run rate is 7.9. Just about 10 and over. Wayne Parnell enters the fray with 127 on the board. Johnson Charles is on 65 from some 47 delivery, and we are waiting to see the final explosion in the final overs from Johnson Charles and Wayne Parnell. So Rutherford gets a wicket, a big wicket that is. Here is he begins to move in from the northern end on his way out to bowl to Johnson Charles. Johnson Charles swing that away down towards the mid-wicket region. Back of the square and into the boundary board for 4. It seems like it caught Devinder Bishop by surprise there.
Yeah, another 4 off the bat of Johnson Charles. 9 fours now. Rutherford has picked up a couple of wickets. Got the wicket of Stephen Taylor and got the wicket of Param Patel. And Eddie, watch for the acceleration now. Johnson Charles has been there for some time. He's a well-set batsman. No reason not to. And with 22 balls remaining, you know he's gonna go big. There we go towards the offside. And so this is gonna be the challenge here for 22 yards. How they can put the lid on Johnson Charles' scoring. We've got 21 balls remaining, 5 runs in the over so far, with a wicket off the first ball. So, and Wayne Parnell, he's not also an easy customer. We know these days his batting has really come on, Wayne Parnell. So, we could be in for a treat here, batting wise, with 21 balls remaining.
So Wayne Parnell settles, looks around the field for a final time. See movements all around him. I think he might be a little bit scared as to all these movements behind his back there, Lenny. So he settles now and waits the arrival of Rutherford. Pulls it away. So just a single to Parnell. He's off the mark. Total goes up by 1 to 133.
So Parnell in this series, he has not had a lot of batting opportunities. In the meantime, he would have scored 12 and 2. So certainly hasn't been out in the middle for too long. And we've got 20 balls remaining, assuming Johnson Charles will probably face 10. He may face 10, we never know. But Johnson Charles could be the man here to really push the Atlanta Param Veers into a total in which they'll be comfortable defending. We saw anything over 140, 150 is going to be a competitive score on this wicket.
Rutherford on his way out to bowl to the right-handed Charles. Charles gets a little bit, swing it away. Bishop is on the way, takes the catch. So Johnson Charles go, given the authority to go ahead, open up, and in the end, perish out in the deep backwards of square position.
Yeah, that's an excellent judge catch again by Devendra Bishu, and it appears that Bishu is playing as a catcher today, and he's been brilliant on that. If he's playing as a catcher, he's taking two very good catch. And the danger man, Johnson Charles, goes. This is a good wicket. It comes at the right period here for the 22 yards, and with 19 balls remaining, we'll have to wait and see how the game plays from here. But big fish goes. And Johnson Charles, he walks back to the shade.
Well, Parnell is still out there, so anything can happen. We just wait and see who is going to join him.
150 is going to be a competitive score on this wicket.
Rutherford on his way out to bowl to the right-handed Charles. Charles gets a little bit, swing it away. Bishop is on the way, takes the catch. So Johnson Charles go, given the authority to go ahead, open up, and in the end, perish out in the...
And now Roland Cato, we saw he has a very good strike in his hand. We saw him yesterday belting a couple of sixes, and he seems to be a quality youngster, having played at the West Indies youth level. But the action shifts to Wayne Parnell with 19 balls still to be bowled.
Rutherford it is from the top end. Parnell is beaten outside the off stump. So Rutherford has come back here and gotten some 2 quick wickets. Valuable wickets, I might add.
Yeah.
So the over comes to an end, Lenny.
Yeah, Sharfay Rutherford, he finishes up 3 for 24 off 4. Very good bowling figures considering. He's picked up wickets. He's kept the score to 6 runs and over. And you can't ask for anything better than that so far. It's 133, 18 balls remaining. So we'll wait and see who does Jesse turn to.
Well, I don't think Jesse has much choice. He might have to take the ball and try and stop the hemorrhaging. And he's going to do exactly that.
So the man Roland Cato comes from Grenada. We see him, he's a quality player. Saw a brief of him yesterday, and in the context of where the game was, I think he played very, very well. Got runs quickly in the dying stages. Now Jesse Singh comes back for his might have been his 3rd bowling spell. Would have bowled 1 and came back and bowled 1, but he's bowled 2 for 21, and that's 2 overs for 21. So he's been on the expensive side considering the overall average. The overall current run rate has always hovered around 8.1, 8.2. So he's gone for 10.
Just want to bowl the tight spell now. Here's Singh on his way now to bowl to Cato. And Cato for this delivery swinging hard and high. This one will go out of the park for 6.
Look at that. The young man Roland Cato has picked up where he left off yesterday. And the ball heading down the leg side. Big shot over square leg, and it's gone for a maximum. Good start here from Roland Cato.
And if 22 yards Sultan are going to stand a chance to win this game, they will have to bowl better than this. They will have to keep the ball in the park, not out of the park. So 139 for 5, 17.1 gone. Cato must be saying, I come in at a very crucial and delicate situation when my team needs runs, and I'm going to put the runs on the board and leave it up to Jesse Singh and the 22-yard team to beat us. Here's Singh on his way. Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Cato, and Caton again. Flicked and flicks well.
So Sinclair takes another catch here. In fact, another catch for 22 yards. And Roland Cato goes 1-6 and then out, 139 for 6.
And looking at the monitor here, it was a blind spot, so I actually thought that it would have gone for 4, but in the end went into the hands of the man in the deep, and Roland Cato will have to go 139 for 6, 17.2 overs gone. And Jesse Singh has picked up some 3 for 27. So it is all happening here, Lenny.
Jesse Singh is bowling at 1 for 27 and 3. So we'll await the new batsman. Roland Cato is gone. So
him to beat us. Here is Singh on his way. Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Cato. And Caton again. Flicked and flicks well.
So Sinclair takes another catch here. In fact, another catch for 22 yards. And Roland Cato goes 1-6 and then out, 139 for 6.
And looking at the monitor here, it was a blind.
Zooms here, it's 140 on the board.
Yes, it is. 17.3 overs gone. So Parnell goes up by 1 to 2. Current run rate is 8. So they're going to have a conference? Yes, they are going to. It's always curious on my part, Lenny, to wonder what they're talking about. I would like to know what they talk about in situations like those.
So we've got 15 balls remaining. Gard Garvey, both batsmen out in the middle are our new batsman. Parnell has only been there for 3 balls.
Singh on his way now to bowl to Garvey. Garvey flicks it in the air. Out towards wide mid-wicket. Just a single.
So 22 yards have really fought back in what we've seen. Let's look at the fall of wickets. First wicket fell at 2. Second wicket fell at 109. So That was a big partnership between Gale Charles and Chris Gale. And then third wicket fall at 116, fourth at 127, 5 at 133, and 6 at 139. So you can really see from the fourth wicket of 127, they've made a couple of inroads up until what it is now.
Lots of inroads, I might say. Here is Jesse Singh on his way out to bowl to Parnell. Parnell is putting down towards the point region. The man coming across his Chevron grip. He picks up, but can prevent the batsman from getting a single. So 17.5 overs gone, Lenny.
Yeah, 22 yards have made a good comeback. You look at 142 for 6 in the with 13 balls remaining. Maybe 160, 165 could be on tap here. We don't know. We don't know the ability certainly of Gard Garvey and Wayne Parnell. We know both batsmen could give it a tap here and there, but 22 yards are fighting back even without the bowling of Devendra Bishu. I think he's probably injured.
Turns it into the onside. Just single coming back for run number 2. No, they decided against it. So good eye coordination between these two. The over comes to an end at the end of the 18th over. The Sultan have the better, I would say, at this stage, Lenny. They have them in the throat of the hands are in the throat of the Atlanta Param Veers cricket team.
Eddie, this will still be a competitive score with still 2 overs remaining. They could get 16, even 20 runs here. That could push it to 160, 165. We never know, but once it gets up to 150, 160, it's going to be a very good game. 22 yards will have to bat extremely well based on the conditions here and the way the wicket has gone.
So the wicket is playing extremely well.
So while we haven't seen the bowling of Bishu, and I'm pretty sure that he's probably injured, but he has come in and take two brilliant catch, and so his catching has really contributed to what it is with 6 wickets down.
So Barnwell is going to bowl over number 19, and let's see if it is a good decision by Captain Jesse Singh to bring Barnwell from the northern end, because you and I know, Lenny, the penultimate over can be more disastrous than the final over.
So Barnwell, 3 overs, no maiden, 1 for 26. So he's gone just over 8 per over in his spell so far. Kevin Sinclair, he's only bowled 2. Ned has 1 still remaining, but I want to suspect that they will go with the medium to fast bowler. This one is driven into the offside. Dane Pete, the former South African, runs around, restrict the batsman to only a single in the deep, and brings the equation down to 11 balls remaining.
18.1, 144 for 6. Parnell is a striker, waiting the arrival of Parnell. But of course the field has to change over for the left-hander in Parnell. Just, taking his time going to his field position. All is well. Here's Barnwell on his way. Right arm over to bowl to Parnell. Parnell swings it away. This will go out of the ground. That's 6 runs.
Good delivery here from Christopher Barnwell. Short, not with his space. That's an easy shot you're giving to
arm over to bowl to Parnell. Parnell swings it away. This will go out of the ground. That's 6 runs. They didn't want to get into they're flirting with danger. Dangerous area now, getting up into the 50s with 1.4 overs remaining. This can spell trouble.
Yeah, good here for Atlanta Param Veers. They've got up to 150. Still got 10 balls remaining. Where will they end up? We saw 163 yesterday. One of the semi-final was simply enough for the US All-Stars. They fell by 19.
Barnwell on the way now to bowl to Parnell. Parnell gets a Yorker length delivery. Had to come down on it. Looking at the bottom of the bat as he goes towards the non-strikers end. So Barnwell, good delivery. So one more to the total, one more to panel. 151 it is for the loss of 6.
So 9 deliveries remaining. Garth Garvey. He's faced 3 balls already.
And this way Barnwell to Garvey. That's a wide delivery. Way wide. And it's signaled and called by the umpire. So 152 it is for the loss of 2.
So
But
that's
The
the
loss of 6, I'm sorry.
Aditya Gajar, the umpire. Small man, along with Jermaine Lindo, the taller of the 2 umpire.
So Manuel going around the wicket for Cato. Slap that over, cover and wide long off. Signal comes in now from the umpire. That's 4 runs. Barnwell is leaking runs, Lenny.
Yeah, another poor delivery from Barnwell, trying to go full and wide. But a good looking shot from Garth Garvey. 8 balls remaining. They've pushed on beyond 150. It's 156. So we'll have to wait and see. This over's gone for 13. Not a good one here for 22 yards. But Param Veers.
Barnwell going around the wicket for Cato. Slap that over, cover and wide long off. Signal comes in now from the umpire. That's 4 runs. Barnwell in fields all kinds of directions. He's like a busy policeman in the city of Georgetown directing traffic. So the direction continues. Pulls the man some 3/4 away from the 3rd man boundary. And Cato settles just about now. Here is Barnwell on his way to bowl to Cato. Cato gets the delivery outside the line of the off thumb. Slapped it down towards.
So another 4 runs off the bat of Garth Garvey. An awful toss. Truly offside this time. And Garth Garvey, although he had to stretch for that ball, he connected well, bat on ball, and it runs away. 17 runs in this over. Things are falling apart here for Christopher Barnwell, and 22 yards. 7 balls remaining. Look at that, it's 160 on the board.
Just like I said before the over start, the penalty over can be disastrous. That can be the targeted over. We have seen it on so many occasions. Here is Barnwell on his way now to bowl to Garvey. Garvey's driving. This one will go over the fence for 6. 6 more. It is for Garvey. And Garvey's driving. And he's driving well.
Yeah, this has been a disaster of an over here for 22 yards. Barnwell has been taken to the cleaners. This over hasn't gone well for 22 yards, and certainly for Barnwell.
That's an over in which he was. Barnwell on his way now to bowl to Garvey. Garvey's driving. This one will go over the fence for 6. 6 more. It is for Garvey. And Garvey's driving. And he's driving well.
Yeah,
And asks, why?
so 23 runs off that over from Barnwell. Atlanta Param Veers relishing now. They're in touching distance of maybe 180 with 6 balls remaining. And this is going to be the crucial stage. I want to watch this 20-25 runs at the end.
So
We've seen it before, and it's going to play out here.
Yes,
166 with still 6 balls remaining. Barnwell is on strike, and I don't think he would mind giving the strike to Garth Garvey. Garth Garvey has been quite explosive. Look at that. 17 from just 6 balls.
So the captain shouldering the responsibility of bowling the last over. On his way now to bowl to Parnell. And Parnell for this delivery. Slapped it down towards. Ooh. Dean Pete. That's a nasty blow there, Lenny, on the inner portion of the right knee. Let's see if that's if that is going to have any effect on him.
Yes, Ed, as a cricketer, you're being told to get your body behind the ball, and body means everything from your head to your toes. So in this case, it ricochet off the knees, and when you've played long enough cricket, there's every joint of your body that is taking hit from time to time. It comes as part and parcel of the game. That is what cricket is as with the ball, it's a contact sport with the ball.
It's a dangerous game. Here is Jesse Singh on his way now to bowl to Cato. Cato looking to place an in to Garvey looking to improvise. And let's see if contact was made. Yes, indeed, contact was made. So one more to Garvey. Takes him now to some 18. Parnell is on. It's a dangerous game. Here is Jesse Singh on his way now to bowl to Keto. Keto looking to plays into. Garvey looking to improvise. And let's see if contact was made.
68, 175 here. On the cards?
Possibly. It's all speculation on our part, though. Let's see if it will play out. Singh on his way now to bowl to Parnell. Stop down towards point. It goes into the boundary just about now for 4. Good looking shot by Parnell.
Yeah, that's a good looking shot. Finds the gap, caught away nicely. It's 172. It appears Jesse Singh has struggled against the left-hander. He has a very good line for the right-hander, just outside off. To great effect. Well, we saw even when he was bowling to Chris Gale and a bit of Stephen. Well, he didn't bowl to Stephen Taylor, but he bowled to Gale. We saw he still hasn't worked out the best line for the left-hander. And wide and short outside the off stump is not going to work with 3 balls left.
It's not easy when you get in licks there, Lenny. Here is Singh on his way now to bowl to Parnell. Parnell gets a full toss. Yeah. Same result.
Full toss wouldn't work either. So he will have to come up with a plan here. What will work so far? Short and wide doesn't work from towards Parnell. And the full toss, I know probably he's trying to go full and wide. May have gone wrong. But in the meantime, look at that. Parnell has picked up a couple of consecutive boundaries. And all of a sudden it's more than 175. So this is heading towards 180. Couple of balls remaining. And this over has gone for what? 10 runs in the over so far. 2 more remaining.
So the last 2 overs been targeted by these 2. So 2 more legal deliveries left. So Jesse Singh. And he's went out to bowl to Parnell. Parnell sinking it and he's pulled it away down towards the back of the square region. And the batsman come back for run number 2. So 2 more to Parnell. Parnell goes on to 21. 178 it is for the loss of 6. The Param Veers. And certainly they're getting up there. Looking to score at least 180. So Lenroy joins me for the last legal delivery of the 20th over.
Absolutely, it's been fantastic hitting from Garvey and Parnell. Great partnership. These 2 have been able to capitalise on the bad deliveries, and they've been improvising and playing some really fantastic cricket shots to all parts of the ground. Last delivery, and that's down to third man. That's 4 runs. Very good flourish to the end, and they have got way beyond a respectable total. At the start we were thinking 140, but at the back stage of the inning, some very hard hitting acceleration from Garvey and Parnell got them onto 180 for 6 heady. Fantastic cricket here. Momentum is with the Atlanta Param Veers here. Very good cricket, heady.
So now they must be going off the field saying to themselves that we're not only in the driver's seat, we're driving well, we're driving the speed limit, and we cannot be stopped. We're going to come back here and we're going to put the medal, we're going to give the 22-yard Sultan Cricket Club everything that we can throw at them, even the kitchen sink. It's 182 for 6. So Mr. White is going to give you the batting lineup.
So earlier we saw Patel didn't get really going. He got 2 from 6. Johnson Charles, a magnificent 70 from 50 delivery. And we know the universe boss Christopher Henry Gale got 49 from 36 deliveries. Stephen Taylor didn't hang around for much. He went for 1 from 3. And Param Patel got 3 from 5 as well. And Wayne Parnell, toward the end of the innings, he got to really respectable 25 from 11. Katu didn't get going, 6 from 2, and Garvey with some fantastic destructive blow at the end as well. Very respectable total of 180 for 2. The 22-yard ball in Sultan.
So Ashmed Ned, 1 for 18. Jesse Singh, 1 for 47. Dane Pete, none for 16. Kevin Sinclair, none for 12. Asad Ali, none for 14. Christopher Barnwell, 1 for 49. Shane Waterford, 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 24. It gives you a total of 182, which means that the 22-yard Sultan Cricket Club, they will have to score 183 for victory.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you for a special presentation from the Cricket Council USA. I'm joined by top executive of the Cricket Council USA, Mr. MAQ, the CEO of the MAQ group of companies. So I want to say welcome to everyone here. We are on the stage with some top executives who have served Cricket Council USA over the years, and they have been senior executives within the crew. The special presentation we have today, the fastest and best bowler of the tournament. The award will go to someone special here today. We've seen a lot of good fast bowling in the series. We saw the likes of Jesse Singh. We saw Wayne Parnell. We saw Ali Shafiq. We saw some really top-class fast bowling from Ransford Beaton. But in the end, ladies and gentlemen, it's our privilege and pleasure to announce to you the fastest and best bowler of the tournament award goes to Muhammad Ali Khan, and as CEO of the MAQ group of companies, MAQ has decided to give him, as a gift, 1.5 acres of land near Disney World for his performance here, not only in this year's tournament, but certainly he has been around U.S. Open cricket for some time. So congratulations to Ali Khan, and we will now get the presentation going. So that's the 1.5 acres of land close to Disney World, and we want to say congratulations to Ali Khan, IPL player and CPL player. Congratulations, Ali. All right, so that concludes our presentation. Thanks for watching. We've got the second innings to go and the final to be concluded. Thanks for your time. So welcome back to the reply. 183 is the target. 183 required from 120 balls. Asking 9.1. This is going to be a tough one here, but a good batting lineup supported by the 22 yards. Welcome back, Lenroy White.
Good afternoon again. Welcome to the chase of the by the 22 yards, replying to 182 that was set.
So Dyer, we saw last night, got one for 29. Malik is the man on strike, a man who has been part of the IPL.
And Dyer is been very effective.
So ball pulled into the onside, didn't time it well, but would still run away for 4. So that's a good looking shot from Malik. And Lenroy was making the second edition of the IPL, the tournament held in South Africa for the Rajasthan Royals. While of course I'm not too sure if he played any game, but he was part of the squad, the team captained that year by Shane Warne.
We know what he's capable of. He's a very attacking batsman as well. And we speak of Dyer. Each time he gets the ball up in the right area, Lenny, he's very effective. But for some reason, he continued to bang the ball in the wicket short, and that, you know, if you're a fast bowler, you're seeing you getting reward with the ball pitching up. No need for you to bang it in the wicket. And we know that he's very experienced. He traded his cricket in Atlanta. Very good bowler. He's gotten among the wickets down there for his club.
Would be quite happy with the kind of score that has been posted on the board for him to bowl at. Very comfortable score for bowler, I would say.
Absolutely. The nature of the game. Oh, that's a very good flick on the onside over mid-wicket. Running away to the boundary for 4 runs. Excellent shot. Dyer straight into the pad of Malik. He just timed this one extravagant over mid-wicket for 4 runs. Very good start. Lenny?
Yes, Malik. Malik is a quality player. And a man who certainly will have to be some of the top heavy lifters here for 22 yards. They bat very deep, but they'll need a good start. They will need to keep up with a run rate that is about 9 and over. So the action continues.
Better delivery there from Dyer. That one swinging into the right-hander, a fraction. So you did say they got to keep up with 9, but they're above that the minute. At the end of the first, it's 10 without loss. Javar Griffith yet to face a delivery, and we know that he likes to play shots as well.
Well, Trevon Griffith will have to get another big score of the season. He got a 50, but has fallen away. He's picked up scores of 11, 6, and 16. So he will need a big score today. And so Stephen Taylor has been given the ball to spin early here on Trevon Griffith. He's a talented batsman, but with that talent, he will have to produce runs here. If 22 yards is to get across the line, a big score posted by the Atlanta Param Veers, 182. And so they'll essentially will have to go almost 9 and over from here on out.
Absolutely, and the top 4 would need to deliver. We saw yesterday by Rutherford, he played a blinder of an innings, and if there need to be on the winning side this afternoon, he needs to continue in that momentum. And also is Andre McCarthy. He needs to deliver the goods today if they're going to come out on top. And a very good stop down there from Parnell. The batsmen are looking for 3, but very good work by Wayne Parnell restricting that. And Stephen Taylor starting down the leg side.
Yeah, he got 3 for 26 yesterday. The off-spinner Stephen Taylor, very versatile cricketer. Played under the U.S. national team, junior and senior, as a keeper. And now these days has been doing a lot of off-spin bowling. Very talented and versatile cricketer Stephen Taylor. He's been part of the U.S. national setup for a long time, since he was 15 years old.
Absolutely, a very smart candidate, Stephen Taylor. Very smart cricketer, and I've watched it throughout the years. Stephen Taylor and Javar Griffith, they have some big rivalry going on. So I'm quite sure Griffiths would want to be dominant over Stephen Taylor, but I think maybe he has different plan. Stepping away to the onside, but wasn't able to get the acceleration on the shot there, Malik.
Yeah, this has been a good over for Stephen Taylor. Remembering they're defending pretty much 9 and over, so far this half of the over has gone for 4. 2 and a couple of singles. Trevon Griffith.
Easiest one on the onside. They run the first one very fast. They're looking for 2, but Parnell picks up and return to the wicket keeper. And the nature of the game, it changed significantly of the last 5 over in the Atlanta innings. They've got 63 of the last 5, and that's really good batting and really good momentum with them. Work this one on the onside is Malik. Picked up a single. Stephen Taylor trying to get the job done here. Lenny.
Yeah, 22 yards have gone cautious. Nothing wrong with that. They're still keeping the scoreboard ticking, so certainly nothing wrong with that. The big overs will come. The boundaries will be struck, I'm pretty sure. And so they're gone the way, and Stephen Taylor is a quality bowler. You look at this over, for example, and it has been, he hasn't given them room. He hasn't bowled it short. He hasn't bowled it wide. He's relatively been on target. And at the end of 2, it's 17 on the board. Taylor over went for 7, so well within the touching distance of what is required here, Lenroy.
Yeah, very smart bowling from Taylor. Very smart cricketer, as we mentioned before. And seems if Dyer is going to continue from the West Palm Beach end. and he would need to come with something better than the first over that he did. That went for 10. He pitched the ball up and he got some movement, but he still decided to bang a few in short.
Yeah, I'd reckon both Trevon Griffith and Malik would love the quicker stuff. And Trevon Griffith, he's an exciting player when he gets going.
Very excited.
Oh, there we go! Short and pulled into the onside. It's gone a long way, and it's gone out of the playing area of the battle. Trevon Griffith.
Absolutely magnificent shot. You speak of the word excitement, and that's exactly what he did. He executed perfectly. And we speak of the bowling from Dyer. That's not the line to bowl. You need to get the ball somewhat.
Griffith, he's an exciting player when he gets going.
Very excited.
Oh, there we go! Short and pulled into the onside. It's gone a long way, and it's gone out of the playing area of the battle.
Dyer needs to get it right.
So a good comeback ball. Griffith does well to keep the ball down. So we've seen good fast bowling in the series. We've seen the likes of Ali Khan, who was presented with 1.5 acres of land, courtesy of MAQ and the MAQ group of companies not too long ago for his outstanding role over the years playing the US Cricket Open and one of the fastest bowler around here.
That's remarkable from the CEO himself, Mr. Matt Qureshi. And you speak of fast bowler, we can't left out Wayne Parnell. Oh, and that's a very good looking shot through the cover. Didn't get enough onto it, but enough to get them two. Wayne Parnell picks up. And these two batsmen are looking quite busy and effective. There's no need for them to play negative cricket. It's all there to play it for. And attacking is the name of the game. And that's what they've been doing, executing well. And as I was mentioning before, Wayne Parnell, he got somewhat 7 wickets for 12 runs the other night. Some really magnificent pace bowling. Oh, and this time he goes again through the cover. Magnificently shot. No need to move, Griffith. Wonderful shot, Lenny.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot from Griffith. Realizing this is the time when only 2 fielders can be out of the ring, so he's really taking advantage of that. The 2 men outside of the ring are on the onside, and Everroy Dyer.
Really magnificent pace bowling. Oh, and this time he goes again through the cover. Magnificently shot. No need to move, Griffith. Wonderful shot, Lenny.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because he's got a deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg, so maybe that's the intention of the captain.
Oh, this one is hammered into the onside. It doesn't matter where the fielders are. No need for fielders. It's gone out of the playing area. And Trevon Griffith has teed off here on Everroy Dyer.
Absolutely magnificent shot. He has taken them to all parts. Dyer is in trouble. He's gone for somewhat 26 runs from 1.5 with 1 delivery still to go. He must be thinking to himself, what have I done wrong here? But it's just the class and the effect of Trevon Griffith. He's been absolutely elegant.
And this is where 22 yards will need Trevon Griffith to stay long enough. We saw Chris Gale, the boss of the world, how he batted, and if Trevon Griffith is to learn a thing or two in today's game, he will see that you stick around long enough, you do have good plays in your hand, the big boundaries will come, but the key is the longer you bat, there will be runs there for Trevon Griffith.
Absolutely, and the nature of the game, I think these lads, they're very smart cricketers, and he must have seen the way Chris Gale conducted his innings, and I'm quite sure he has the ability to do so. It's just the maturity that Griffith needs to prolong today in terms of his batting, and just continue and get his team into a really commanding position. At the minute, this is way beyond commanding. They're running away quite effectively at 35 for the loss of no wicket at the end of the third. Current run rate 11.7, way above the required run rate at the start to the chase. So really good cricket. Stephen Taylor would need to continue his tidy stuff.
Yeah, made a point, Lenroy. Both Trevon Griffith and Malik wouldn't mind the faster stuff, as we saw delivered from Everroy Dyer. And now, as in the case of Stephen Taylor, you've got to manufacture the pace if you want to. While Stephen Taylor is using the new ball, so still some sheen on that ball, a little bit of skid.
Oh, and that's still short and cut away, hammered away through backward point through the cover-up region for 4 runs. Really good shot. Stephen Taylor loosening up, short delivery, and the batsman was onto it in a flash, Malik. Absolutely fantastic shot. Really good cricket here at the Central Bar Regional Park. Magnificent stuff, Lenny.
Yeah, that's the poor deliveries from off spinners. Short and wide, and give Malik a lot of room there to go through the offside. Now Lenroy, Malik, the man batting here, he has a record that he has a T20 record with another player from India as the highest 4th wicket stand in a T20 match, 202. He got 86 and the other guy got 108. So there we go. Malik goes over the infield, and this one will run away again. 1 bounce and it goes away for 4. So 4 runs off the bat of Malik is 43 on the board. Look at that.
Very elegant looking shot, in and out over extra cover. A shot of class, authority, confident from the batsman Malik, who they're looking this opening partnership. They're looking in.
So there we go. Malik goes over the infield, and this one will run away again. 1 bounce and it goes away for 4. So 4 runs off the bat of Malik is 43 on the board. Look at that.
Very elegant situation when the work on the onside here, Malik. They're looking for 2, and they should get it quite easily as a return come back into the wicket keeper, but still not able to restrict the batsman from coming through for 2. And the captain must be thinking, I need to go to my strike bowler.
So 45, they're off to a very good start, very solid. The both batsmen have already gotten big feel of the ball. Both batsmen have picked up boundaries.
Oh, a ball that was chipped in the air for a while. And at the end of 4, it's 45 without loss. Trevor Griffiths on 23 from 10. Absolutely amazing stuff. And Malik, he's gotten 20 from 14. And partnership up to 45.
Yeah, Taylor bowled 3 for 26 yesterday. 3 wickets for 26. And today he's gone 2 for 17. Everett Dyer has been also expensive, so one of the reasons why we see Everett Dyer taking a break, and it looks like Mindley will be the man to operate. Mindley's a quality bowler. We saw him yesterday. Good for a young man. He's runs in well. Seems to have a good idea of where to bowl in T20 cricket. He bowled very well yesterday, and let's look at his bowling figure. 2 for 20 or 4, so he's been impressive yesterday, and he's been called upon here with 45 on the board to try and certainly break the partnership or try to go beyond below 8 runs and over.
Well, my point of view, I'm not quite sure this is the right choice made here by the captain to bring Medley into the attack. We all know he can be effective when he's got good momentum, good rhythm, but the nature of the game, I would think a leg spinner would be quite more effective and would be required to come in the nature of the situation at the minute. But we'll see. Oh, and that's shipped in the air. Oh, valiant effort there from Garvey. Absolutely magnificent, good effort. So there we mentioned the man Minley. He came in the attack right away and almost an half a chance.
Yeah, Garvey just trying to pouch one out in the air, and Lenroy, like anything else, you hope.
The nature of the situation at the minute. But we'll see. Oh, and that's shipped in the air. Oh, valiant effort there from Garvey. Absolutely magnificent, good effort. So there we
Mindley inducing a little bit of an edge.
Oh, and he looks really good. He's generating some pace here. The young man looking quite effective at the minute, and he's getting his stride. His momentum is right. You look at his smooth action towards the delivery stride. Absolutely magnificent stuff from the young man. Quality, class, and effective bowling here, and that's what's required. And he's doing a phenomenal job just far at the minute.
Yes, Lenroy, and Marquino Mindley joins a long list of former West Indies on a 19th player to be playing in this tournament, one of which is Trevor Griffith, the man on strike.
And we know, Oh, that's a very good delivery, but that's gone through the point area, running away down towards the point boundary. And very good stop at the end, and they could come back for 3 here, but decided against it, Malik, and wisely so.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith looks very good if he stays there long enough, and that's one of the problem. You talked to the captain of the 22 yards, and he made a point we were talking a bit earlier on, and he's hoping that Trevon Griffith stays around 5 overs, 10 overs towards there. If he stays around, he's a classy player. We've seen that already.
Very classy there, onto the back foot in a flash and just guide it through the point region. The feelers are very close to each other, the cover and the point feeler, but for some reason he's elegant enough, Lenny, to just guide it through that gap. And that's what good players does, Lenny. The Virat Kohli, the Sachin Tendulkar, the Lara, such is great quality to see from this young man, and I'd love to see him carry on that momentum into hopefully an international opportunity for the West Indies for the near future to come.
Yeah, well, he will have to gather all the experience he's played at the youth level, then Guyana first class, and then at the CPL level, Trevon Griffith. But we're watching Malik, who's come back into strike, and we made a mention this man is part of a record in T20 cricket. In a T20 game, he and a fella from India, Manpreet Janjua, and scored 202 for the 4th wicket. It's a record in T20 cricket. He got 86, and the other fella got 108. So he's been a part of he's not an ordinary player, certainly, and a man that we made mention. He was one of 2 wicket keepers in the Rajasthan Royals lineup in 2009, along with Neyman Odja, who would have gone on to play international cricket for India at one time. 50 comes up. It's in fact it's 51 on the board.
Absolutely. In any circumstances, you get a partnership of 200 in a T20 game. That's beyond beautiful. And you mentioned earlier about first-class cricket by Trevon Griffith, and I think that's one of the factors in any fundamental and development of cricket. And mostly with the West Indies cricket team, you see players just bursting into the international scene. You look, they've got probably 1 or 2 first-class matches. Back in the days, you'll be playing 150 first-class matches, but still can't get into the West Indies team. And I think until we get back to that mentality, cricket in the region is going to be at a very deteriorating state. And it's just the nature of what's going on, Lenny.
So they're going at 10.4, required 8.7. It looks like Wayne Parnell, 7 for 12 the other night, has been given the ball. And Lenroy, just for our audience, the presentation that you saw to Ali Khan, and that is the reason because Ali Khan is flying back to out of Florida just about any time now, so he has had to leave. So that's why the special presentation was done to him, as some real estate has been gifted to him by MAQ out of the MAQ group of companies, some real estate near Disney World. And so that's one of the reasons that presentation was done even before the big presentation later on, as Ali Khan is getting out of Florida. He has a flight to catch.
Absolutely remarkable stuff, as I mentioned earlier. Remarkable stuff from Matt Qureshi. He's a very kind-hearted individual, and one would say I love the character of Ali Khan. Very humble individual. And as I make way for heading into the commentary box, the score is 52 without loss from 5.
So Wayne Parnell comes into the attack here. And Parnell went for none for 23 in the semi-final game. Starts with a wide. And welcome back, Eddie. We've seen a positive start here from 22 yards. Still a long way to go, but with 53 on the board, you've got to say they've taken 182 by chunks, and this is a big chunk.
Yes, they're taking advantage of the batting power play. And certainly with some 53 runs on the board, one can only assume not only they're on their way to victory, but let's see if they get there. This one is driven out into the offside.
So Wayne Parnell would have played a lot more ODI than he did in Test. Handful of Tests, maybe 6, 7 or 8, and one international 60 plus ODI. A man who plies his trade in several T20 franchise league around the world. Big Blast, Pakistan Super League. Some of those, and would have been at the CPL on a couple of occasions.
So
the side screen being moved here. Malik, we saw yesterday, he's very fussy about the side screen, and why not? This is an important match, and he wants to make sure that there's no distraction when he settles down to bat.
And his way down to bowl to Malik and drive in. Trevor Griffith had to scamper back home. He was out of crease for a second. The return came in at the non-strikers end. It would have been interesting to see if that Summers would have been knocked out of the ground. What would have happened? So Parnell turns. And he's went out to bowl to Malik. He's on 21. Delivery up pitched into the cover region. So they gets a single, bring Trevor Griffith into strike.
Yeah, the Atlanta Param Veers would have had to do without the services of Riyad Emrit, Kari Pierre, Akil Hussein, and Magram. And so far they have held up well. They've made it to the final. They've made it to the last two, and they've posted a good score. Anything could happen.
Parnell on his way now to bowl to Trevor Griffith. Griffith pushing it back into the offside. And the bat can get no run. 30 it is for Griffin. He has faced some 17 deliveries, 55 without loss. Lenny.
Yeah, you look at the required rate and the current rate. That's going to be very important all through the innings. Current run rate 9.7, required 8.9. They're just about ahead of that. They haven't lost a wicket, so relative to that, they're going pretty good. Packed offside field with a couple of men outside the ring at the moment.
On his way to Trevor Griffin on driving out towards the wide long on area, just a single. So the 4s and 6s have cut down tremendously here, Lenny.
Yeah, this has been a very good over from Parnell. We've only seen 4 runs off the over, so Parnell has really come into the attack here and subside the scoring rate, which pretty much was on top. The way things are, they were scoring 9 and 10 per over, so Parnell has come in and bowled an over that's gone for 4 so far.
Slow them down just a bit. On his way now to bowl to Malik, and Malik with his leg flipped it away. Just a single, finds the man at the back with a square position. So Malik goes on to some 23, 18 over, some 18 deliveries, 6 overs completed. And the 22-yard Sultan Cricket Club, they're looking to score a target of 183. They are 57 without loss. Griffin is on 31. Malik is on 23. That is the latest score here from the Central Broad Regional Park. So we watch us now as the 7th over is about to commence. Chris Gale taking his time as usual, going to his field. The world boss, they say. Man always wear the 333 on his back of his jersey. So Johnson Charles behind the stump. As I said early on, fresh from the Lankan League. His team won the competition as well, Lenny. So
Marquino Mindley will continue. First over went well. Went for 7. And we saw he bowled brilliantly last night. He's a one for the future. Eddie Edwards, 2 for 20 last night. Has a nice rhythm. Seems to have a good awareness where to bowl in T20 cricket.
And he's went out to bowl to Malik, and Malik slapping that over cover. This will go. Is it a 6? Just dropping inside of the boundary. And the signal comes in from the umpire. So that's a 4. 61 it is. Without loss. Malik goes now to 27. And Griffin is on 31.
Yeah, they're off to a very solid start here, both Malik and Trevon Griffith. And so other batsmen to come. We've seen the likes of Andrew McCarthy playing a very good hand yesterday. And we've got the likes of Sharfane Rutherford still to come, Chris Barnwell.
And you're talking about hard hitters there. Guys that will take the ball out of the park in a canter and without any love.
So this over so far, first ball has really gone good for 22 yards, Sultan.
Mainly on his way out to bowl to Malik. Malik gets the delivery, straightens up and then pushed out into the offside. And the batsman just pretty much dragged through for another single. Easy single.
Yes, Eddie, 22 yards certainly means the strip that the game is played on, and we all know certainly at the top level. And here is no difference at 22 yards. The pitch here, the ground curators and umpires are very particular what happens on the 22 yard when the cricket is not played. It's a very sacred area. They don't want no one walking onto the pitch. Nothing must be done on the pitch before, and in fact even during play, the bowler, when he delivers is asked to get off as quickly as he possibly can. Even the batsman, when he plays a shot, you got to run off the pitch. It's a very sacred
area. You got to
well protected area. You don't mess with the 22 yards.
Pushed it out towards the offside, a single. Well, they're gonna threat the fielder's arm. They get it quite easily too, as the return comes in at the non-striker's end, and Chevron Griffith and Malik run two very quick singles.
Yeah, just coming back to that, the only thing permitted on that pitch is the ball. The only thing that should be going on that pitch is the ball. Batsman run off, bowler run off.
That's it. Nothing different. Mainly on the way the ball to Griffin, turns it into the onside, just to the left of the bowler. So Malik now bending over in his bat now. He's been out there for a little bit, just around 6 over, so he must be a little bit winded there, Lenny.
Well, this has been not a bad over here from Mindley. The first ball went for 4, but he's come back well. And so just 7 off and over the started with a boundary. So good comeback from the young man. And that completes over number 7, 64 without loss.
Yeah, he pulled his bottom hand away. The over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, we see Chevron Griffin walking towards. Well, it seemed like he was in a little bit of a pain there with the final delivery, holding his back. Seemed like he's getting a fresh set of gloves, or getting some refreshment.
Yeah, Trevon has had a good day so far. Well, he spilled one chance, but thankfully the very next ball, he got the big wicket of the universe boss, Chris Gale.
That was a big catch.
He made a good comeback, so he's up to 31. He's up to 33 actually, Trevon Griffith. And it appears that Chris Gale gonna bowl?
Looks like it. To slow things down even further, and they're already being slowed down. So he's going to be bowling to Malik. Malik is on 28 from some 20 deliveries. So 22 yards Sultan. They're chasing 183 is the target for victory. There's some 64 without loss. Malik is on 28. Trevon Griffith is on 33. That's the latest score here from the Central Broad Regional Park. Gale on his way to Malik. And Malik is bowling. Malik was backing away, giving himself enough room to punch it down towards the point region. Didn't make contact. The ball cannons into the stumps. So Malik goes, and Chris Gale strikes and strike big. First ball, Lenny.
Yeah, the big man has come in. He has not only batted well, he's picked up the wicket of Malik. So a wicket falls, 64 for 1. And that will certainly...
That's the latest score here from the Central Broad Regional Park. Gale on his way to Malik. And Malik is bowling. Malik was
Griffith will have to use someone else as a partner. So Malik goes. Chris Gale strikes. Perfect bowling start to his spell.
So Andrew McCarthy comes to the crease. Comes into partner Chevron Griffith. Seen he hung around a bit last night. So he's no slouch. He can really handle himself. So he'll have to have Chris Gale to contend with. So Chris Gale now is setting his field. So Malik The batsman is out. 22 yards Sultan there, 64 for 1. They're chasing 183 for victory. Here is Gale on his way out to bowl to McCarthy. Tosses a full toss and swings it away. Gets a single. Brings Trevor Griffith into strike. So McCarthy is off the mark immediately.
Yeah, McCarthy batted splendidly well yesterday. A different scenario today. A lot more runs on the board. They've lost one. Trevor Griffith, he's still there.
So now we see Johnson Charles assuming the responsibility of setting the field. Here is Gale now on his way to bowl to Griffin. And driving out towards long on. So a single to Griffin. Takes a total to 66. Lenny Archibald.
Yeah, yes, Eddie Edwards, the big man, the universe boss, who would have made his first class debut for Jamaica in 1998, is still playing.
That's a very long time. Remember that. Along with Wavell Hines, we used to partner with him. Gale on his way out to Carty. Into the onside, they're going for 1. They're looking to get a second, but no in the end. So 7.5 overs gone.
Yeah, McCarthy is more of a stroke it around player. He's very good to picking up singles and playing to the V's, and nothing wrong with that. They'll just have to keep an eye on what the required run rate is. Shot through the offside. There's protection out there. And so that completes a very well bowled over here from Chris Gale. 68 for 1.
Well controlled over. The over comes to an end. 8 overs gone. 68 for 1. Trevor Griffith, he's on 35. McCarthy's on 2. And that is the latest score here from the Central Broad Regional Park. So things has quieted down somewhat. Take into consideration that Griffin and Malik were going great guns. So the introduction of Parnell and Christopher Gale has turned things down, has turned the volume down just a little bit. So let's see who is going to come in and what sort of a noise, if any, will be made. So it's going to be a new bowler.
So it appears to be Evroy Dyer, sporting the 007 on his shirt, James Bond.
And that's a very bad man. Let's see if Dyer can follow that trend. He is trending here. So let's see if he can follow the trend of James Bond. And he'll be bowling to Trevor Griffith, another bad guy in terms of cricket.
Yeah, the required rate is has gone up slightly here from the current run rate.
Outside the line of the off stump, it is a wide delivery. Signal uncalled by the umpire.
So every run will count here. They've lost the wicket of Malik. First ball of the bowling of Chris Gale.
And he had a contribution of some 28 runs. So can't say they didn't get a good start from him, but they wish that he would have continued. Now he gets a delivery outside the line of the off stump. It's beaten in the process. Is Griffin. Total remains on 69.
So good comeback ball from Evroy Dyer. One gets the impression that that will be his line of operation just outside off.
Looking to induce Griffin into playing that tap shot. Here is Dyer. Right arm over with the ball to Griffin, and Griffin improvising and play pretty much a scoop shot there, Lenny, and that a final result the result that he was looking for, he got it. 4 more to him.
In the end, a productive shot here for Trevon Griffith. A very cheeky looking shot. Just trying to.
Here is Dyer. Right arm over with the ball to Griffith, and Griffith improvising and play pretty much a scoop shot there. Lenny and got and finally was on his way to ball to the right-handed Griffin. Delivery outside the line of the off stump. Griffin was charging down the track. Perhaps he has a flight to catch back to Georgetown. Lenny.
Careless looking shot. Wonder why. Still a long way to go. He's batting well and comes down the track and throwing caution to win.
73 it is for 183. 8.3 overs gone. 183 for the target. Here's Dyer, right arm. And there's Griffith was fishing outside the line of the off stump. So he has gone out in the sea now, Lenny. He's looking for big fish.
Yeah, a couple of good balls there from Everoy Dyer. He's kept the ball outside off. Good carry to the keeper, Johnson Charles, but seen a careless looking shot from Trevon Griffith prior to that ball. And a ball that he's trying to, he nibbled at it. And luckily he did not get the edge, so Everoy Dyer working out Trevon Griffith.
Turns it into the offside, gets a single. So perhaps the word that came from Griffin is that he's going to turn the strike over and give McCarthy to see if McCarthy can do something better, taking into consideration that Griffin has been out there from ball 1, so he must be a little bit tired now, Lenny.
Yeah, we saw McCarthy yesterday playing his style that was suited for yesterday's chase. Things are a little bit different today, and McCarthy will have to pick up runs. He did that yesterday. He batted extremely well, held up one side of the 22 yards, so he'll have to form and forge a partnership here with, for now, Trevon Griffith, and if there's any other batsman to come, but they'll have to make sure that they keep on top of 8 and 9 runs and over.
Indo to McCarthy, straightens up and then pushes it back along the track. The bowler field to his own bowling. So the over comes to an end, and at the end of the over, at the end of it, the 22-yard Sultans looking for 183 for victory, and after 9 overs, they are 74 for the loss of 1. Griffith is on 40. McCarthy, he's on 2. That is the latest score here from the Central Broad Regional Park. So Gale to continue. Setting his field. Very serious man in Chris Gale. We bowling to Griffin. Played into the offside. The batsman can't score. So that balls are like gold dust around the area now. Turns it into the onside. They're going for 1. Griffin attempt like he wanted to go for another, but that's all. He will get a single. He goes on to 41. 75 it is for the loss of 1 wicket, Lenny.
Yeah, quiet period here for 22 yards. They're sizing up the bowling of certainly Chris Gale. Chris Gale has bowled. He's bowled tidy so far. He's only given up 5 runs. He's picked up 1. And he's already sent down 8 balls. So he's been tidy. Very experienced Chris Gale.
And he's went out to bowl to McCarthy. McCarthy's on driving. Gone for 1. That's all it will be, as the return comes in at the bowler's end.
So Chris Gale, Eddie Edwards, I would want to think he's probably between 1 to 5 of some of the players who would play the longest at the international level, having started his international career. And there's a reverse shot here from Trevon Griffith. We'll wait for the signal from the umpire. Bias the call. But I would want to take, and I don't have that information, but I would want to take, having made his international debut in 1999. Chris Gale would have had to be between maybe 1 to 5, maybe 1 to 8 as an international player who would have played at the longest at that level. McCarthy picks up 1, 78 for 1. We're approaching 10. Gale has been good. He's so far bowled 11 balls and he's only conceded 7 runs. He's picked up the only wicket to have fallen. So Chris Gale putting not only a batting performance earlier on, but we're beginning to see some very good tidy off spin from the universe boss as 10 over comes to a close, 79 for 1.
And as I take my leave, let me say welcome to the comeback. None other than my good friend Bilal. Bilal, welcome.
Okay, thank you, Lenny, and once again, welcome to, and a big thanks to our viewers around the world who are tuned in to watch this grand finale as Wayne Parnell comes back into attack. All guns blazing. That's what we saw with 22-yard Sultan. They're no easy team to deal with, and I know that Atlanta Param Veers, they have to change their strategy. They're on course, 79 for 1 so far. But what's working in Atlanta Param Veers' favor is the required run rate has jumped to 10.4 as things have slowed down for the past few overs.
So at the end of 10, Atlanta Param Veers, they were batting at 85 for 1. It's 79 for 1 at the end of 10. Parnell.
Yeah, Wayne Parnell. Said there's up in the air, keeper is under the ball, and there we go. The catch taken, Trevon Griffin, who was itchy to get some boundaries because things were difficult within the past 3 to 4 overs, and it pays off for Atlanta Param Veers. They get rid of well-settled Trevon Griffin.
So Trevon Griffin goes 79 for 2. Falls for 42. Big blow here. Started well as Shorefin Rutherford makes his way to the middle, and Shorefin batted brilliantly yesterday, Bilal, but with a couple of wickets fall still on.
Wayne Parnell said there's up in the air, keeper is under the ball, and there we go. The catch taken, Trevon Griffin, who was itchy to get some boundaries because things were difficult within the past. Wicket column goes up for the fielding team. You know, it builds their confidence. So now we have Rutherford, who's walking in. Can he repeat the same performance that he did a couple of days ago? So that's the question that needs to be answered. And if he does, we will see a fairly close finish here in Fort Lauderdale. And then over to Lenny. So as we speak about the U.S. Open, comparing to last year, one thing that has really helped us is the Mother Nature. Really held up very well. None of the games were impacted compared to last year. I remember as we walked into the parking lot last year, and every other game, it was pouring. Wayne Parnell, and he launches a deep mid-on, and off the mark, Stefan Rutherford. Or see Andre McCarty. So one more run added, 84-2.
So 103 required from 58 balls. Yes, Bilal, and one of the reasons over the years, Cricket Council USA have scheduled their U.S. Open in the second week of December, around the 15th to mid-December, because according to the weather people, this one pulled into the onside protection out there. According to the weather people, December is a dry month in Fort Lauderdale. And the tournament was on just after Thanksgiving a couple of times. But you're talking about a period in which in the first week of December we've seen a lot of rain around that. I've come to tournaments here where pretty much all the years when a tournament was held in the first week of December, there's always a couple of days it would rain. And what has happened mid-December seems to be the better time, and so hence the reason why the Cricket Council USA people are just making sure that they're choosing the driest part of the month. Pretty much in December they want to get it before the year finishes, and so the mid-December has always well, not always, but has recently been the choice of date for the US Open.
Yeah, compare the weather here versus elsewhere in the United States. You know, it's looked like you're comparing 60s and 70s versus 30s and 20s elsewhere. I know you're happy, Lenny, that you don't have to deal with low 20s in New York City.
Yes, Bilal, a very tidy over so far from Wayne Parnell. He's picked up one. He's given up only 3 runs in this over. So we're beginning to see a quiet period here for the 22 yards Sultan, and the quieter they go, they could drop back a little bit. We've already seen the run rate heading towards 11. And McCarthy and Shorefin Rutherford out in the middle.
Yeah, things are not easy here. So he launches it over. Let's see, Andre McCarthy, and that's a maximum U.S. Open Fantasy maximum 6 runs. And we knew that, you know, both of these batsmen, they could not hold out. They had to swing their bat. Required run rate climbing up to 11. So they had to do something. Wayne Parnell.
Shorefin Rutherford out in the middle.
Yeah, things are not easy here. So he launches it over. Let's see, Andre McCarthy, and that's a maximum U.S. Open Fantasy maximum
Of the innings, 2 by Trevon Griffith.
Oh, let's see, a poor job by the wicketkeeper. Johnson Charles had no clue, and then it goes for 4 byes. The last thing you want to see in a T20, byes.
So 91 needed from 54. An over completed here by Wayne Parnell. Thankfully that 4 byes will not be against the analysis of Wayne Parnell. 92 for 2 at the end of 11.
See, so we have now required run rate coming down to 10, and is helping big time. 22 yards Sultan. They are ready, and now here comes Chris Gale back into attack. He's into over number 3. And he has bowled so well for the first 2 overs, only 8 runs conceded, and scored a wicket with his first delivery. And now Sherfan Rutherford will face, and he's driven down to the extra core region, and wonderful fielding by the boundaries of 2 easy runs. 94 for 2 now into 12th over that we are in now. Chris Gale again. And this time sets him moved around to short cover for a single. So at this point, 22 yards Sultan, they need boundaries, and they need to score at least 10 runs in each over. And Chris Gale seemed like he's got his line and length ready, so see, and there is a short of length, just as we were talking about it. Short of length delivery, and it was launched over the U.S. Open Fantasy maximum.
So it brings up the 100 here for 22 yards. McCarthy has gone up to 17 from 11.
He's got his line and length ready, so see, and there is a short of length, just as we were talking about it. Short of length delivery, and it was launched over the
2 would have made sure that 22 yards are playing in the championship game, and so they're out in the middle. They're out in the 22 yards with similar work to be done.
Yeah, being the off spinner, I know the fact that you cannot be short in length, because as soon as you do that, you will be dispatched to boundary, and that's what happened to Chris Gale on the previous delivery.
So we were talking about how long has Chris Gale been at the international level, and where does he stand in terms of some of the other players who have played very, very lengthy international career. Well, we've got that information. This one is getting an outside edge and is going to run away towards the third man boundary off the bat of Sharfin Rutherford. So, Bilal, you ready? So, Sachin Tendulkar has played 22 years. Jai Surya, 21 years. 184 days at the international level. Javid Miandat, he has played 20 years, 272 days. And then comes the big man, Chris Gale, 19 years, 337 days.
Oh, that's a lot of time. As you see, 20 years ago, if we want to go back in the days, what were we doing when Chris Gale started and all of that? So that's a lot of time. It needs a lot to stay active, stay fit for the international level. It's not at all easy, and it's quite an accomplishment for all of these legends. I know back in 1997 when Shahid Afridi came into the picture and he scored the fastest 100 and announced himself into the international world, and it's been 23 years since then. And then Gale came into play and Jay Surya's of the world. I mean, they took the game away, and they just, it sort of took it to another level. People were used to the strike rates of 60s and 70s and ODIs, and that was no longer the case once you had the likes of Gale and Jay Surya and Tendul, and then basically Shahid Khan Afridi. So all of these, they just strike rates were like above 100 for the first time in ODIs. A lot of fireworks. So Marquino Milne comes into play, and so driven down to long off by Sharfin Rutherford.
Yeah, Mindley has good figures so far. Let's look at that. He comes into this, his third over, having bowled 2 for 17. Hasn't picked up one, but he's gone for what? 8.5 runs, 7 runs and over, or pretty much 8.5. You're just around there, so right on top of things at the moment.
Yeah, not bad for him, but what we're seeing is into the third over, batsman has read the personality and the length, and this time he launches it over towards the long on area. As he whitish long on, and it just drops in the middle of 2 fielders. No damage done.
Yeah, we've seen the intent here from Andrew McCarthy to get going. He realizes that they'll need to get runs. Still asking 9.7, and so along with Sharfin Rutherford. But I would want to think, Bilal, if they should adopt a same approach that they did yesterday. We know Sharfin Rutherford is he's a more aggressor. He can attack the ball. That's what he does at the T20 level. He's regarded as a hard-hitting middle-order batsman. And if this should go back to the same method they used yesterday, Sharfin Rutherford was picking up the big boundaries and the big overs, and Andrew McCarthy was tapping it around.
Yeah, it's the other way around, seemed like today, but they have great teamwork. They gel together. The difference today is the required run rate, Lenny, because it's almost 9.7. So it's not at all easy. Both of them will have to keep it going. Let's see, walks up to Marquino Milne, and then it's driven to whitish long off for another single.
So this has been a very good over from Mindley, former youth player that would have represented West Indies, comes out of Jamaica. And so 4 runs in the over so far. This has been a tidy one for Mindley.
Definitely need a boundary, 22 yards Sultan. And I know that Marquino Milne is aware that there will be a swing of a bat. It's a good ball and appeal, and it's a close call.
Oh, it's a run out. So Sharfin Rutherford is run out off a direct throw, and another wicket goes down. Sharfin Rutherford is gone. It's 111 for 3.
Very unfortunate way to get out. Sharfin Rutherford tapped the ball. There was an appeal for LBW. He was just caught outside of the crease by maybe a foot or so, and a direct hit Umpire raises his finger. Rutherford is back in the pavilion. He is aware that there will be a swing of a bat. It's a good ball and appeal, and it's it's a close call.
Oh, it's a run out, so a sharp fade. Rutherford took off and a little bit concerned with the signal from the umpire. When you're trapped on leg before, sometimes you become immobilized, and all you do is to watch the umpire. And he had advanced down the wicket looking for a single, and the ball was right on the pitch. A good bit of work on the man at short square leg there, made sure that Sharfin Rutherford is sent packing. So a couple of 3 wickets gone down as Christopher Barnwell comes out to the middle with the equation reading 72 to win from 53 balls, 7 wickets standing.
Yeah, so this mistake by Rutherford, it could cost his team big time. You just need to be aware of your surrounding, what's happening. Ball went, and baller was right quick to field, so he should have been back in his crease right then, but he was caught lazy. I know there was a direct hit. That is the main reason he got out, but he should be aware of his surrounding. But quite an athletic show by Marquino Milne. I think we missed that part. He was quick onto the ball. And now pressure is on 22-yard Sultan. You have Christopher Barnwell walked in. Quick ball to point area. No run. It's a great over by Marquino Milne. Maybe this is the change that they needed. So only 4 runs conceded in the 13th over. And we see a field bowling change. Chris Gale already bowled 3 overs. He's off the attack now. But still, trial by spin, as we know that this wicket really supports spinners as long as they bowl in the good areas. So Andre McCarty, well settled. Damien Ebanks, the captain, comes in. Okay, so misfield at short cover.
So Damien Ebanks, the captain, comes in here. 71 to win from 41. Pressure on certainly the batting team. And Damien Ebanks, he's been around the US Open for many years. So this one is swung into the onside. It's gone all the way, I think. Upstairs. Yep, he's gone for a 6. Had to wait a while there, a little bit. So, Barnwell has struck a nice looking 6, a little bit flat. And that's 118 for 3, Bilal.
Yeah, short in length. US Open Fantasy Maximum is the result.
So 65 from 40 balls. And I was making the point, Damien Ebanks has been around US Open for quite a while. Chop and cut away. That's a lovely shot off the bat of Christopher Barnwell. So he's found a way to score 10 in 2 balls, 1 6 and 1 4. And that's a lovely shot through the offside from the former West Indies player.
Yep, so Christopher Barnwell showing his skill set. 360. The first one went to the deep mid wicket region, and this one backward point. See up in the air, and there's no fielder back there, and it went all the way back to the third man region, and it's another boundary. So what an over so far, Lenny. Things are turning around. Just as we see a seesaw battle between the two teams. Wicket goes down, Param Veers, they lift their spirits, and there's a good over, and then 22-yard Sultan, they come back, and now they have scored, there's a 6 and 2 4s already being scored in this over. All right, so taps it up. It's the good length area. Now single, one more run added to Christopher Barnwell. 15 of 5. 16 so far in this over has been scored. Plays it safely down to the point area. Wayne Parnell hangs onto the ball. So at the end of 14 overs, 127 for 3. What's your take, Lenny? Would you bet on 22-yard Sultan or Param Veers at this stage of the game?
Yeah, Bilal, I think the game is set up for an interesting finish. Still 56 to win from 36 balls. Barnwell, we know he can bat. Andrew McCarthy is in top form. He's come out here. He's picked up 21 already. Let's see what he got last night. Let's see where he is. Andrew McCarthy, did he get 35 last night? Yeah, 35. And so he's been among the runs. McCarthy along with Barnwell. They both can bat. They have played at the West Indies first class level. As in the case of Barnwell, he would have played even further than that. He would have played briefly at the international level. So Parnell will be the man to continue. But it's 56 to win from 36 ball. Still anybody's game, but Atlanta Param Veers will be hoping that the required run rate stays around 9.
Yeah, I was talking to Wayne Parnell prior to the game and asked about the pressure of a grand finale, and he said he's under no pressure. He's ready to perform. And when I asked him about batting up the order, because that's abnormal for him, and he said, he is going to do what his team is required of him, and he played a gem of the inning and took the score up to 180 plus.
I rather doubt if the pressure of Wayne Parnell in a game like this would be to him. He's played higher than the US Open. 129 for 354 to win from 34 balls.
Yeah, this Wayne Parnell is into his third over now. Only conceded 16 runs. And it seemed like the 22-yard Sultan, they're playing it safely. They're waiting for the bad deliveries. I didn't see a bad shot yet. But they do need boundaries every single over. And
Should have done more with that, but it has eluded Johnson Charles. And they're coming back for 2. The return comes in. Charles with the ball. In the end, they pick up a couple of runs. So 2 more runs here to 22-yard. Pushes them to 133 and brings the 131, sorry. And brings the equation down to what? To 52 to win from 33 balls.
yeah, so it seemed like we are heading to a close finish, and that's what we need for US Open. It's going to be a close finish. It seemed like based on what's happening so far. Seesaw battle. And there's the swing down to the backward square leg area, and only single run conceded there.
So both teams in the final comes out of Group B. And the other 2 teams in Group B includes Brampton Pacers and Afghan Swanan. Group A consisted of the likes of Somerset Cavaliers, the defending champ, US All-Stars, Punjab Blues and Samp Army. So this year a truncated series, only 8 teams, 2 groups. Big appeal. Andre McCarthy is caught behind off Wayne Parnell. And the 4th wicket goes down. It's 132 for 4.
Parnell, he was persistent with this type of delivery. Bounce on, under the chest height. It was chest height, and McCarthy could do nothing with that ball, but just edge it to the keeper. Another wicket goes down, and see 132 for 4. 22-yard Sultan. They're still in it, but they've lost 4 wickets so far. They have the talent to chase down the big total of 183, but it's going to take.
So this year a truncated series, only 8 teams, 2 groups. Big appeal. Andre McCarthy is caught behind off Wayne Parnell. And the 4th wicket goes down. It's 132 for 4.
Parnell, when batting, and now as a bowler, he has come back, only conceded 19 runs into his 3rd over, and already grabbed 2 wickets. And that's what his team needed from a player like Wayne Parnell. All-round performance.
So Javel Glenn comes to the middle, 51 needed from 31. They've lost 4 wickets. We're on the verge of completing 15. Wayne Parnell. Parnell has picked up his second wicket, 2 for 19, 2.5.
Yes.
And so the former South African international has been among things.
7 for 12. That's what he got a couple of days ago. And today he's looking for third wicket here now. So okay. Just being outside the off stump.
So 15 overs gone, 132 for 4. And we'll now bring in Eddie Edwards.
Okay, so we're looking forward to a great finish here. And Eddie and Lenny will take you to the rest of the 5 overs.
So 51 required in 30 balls. Stephen Taylor comes back into the attack. 2 for 19 off 3. 2 for 17 off 3. None for 17 off 2.
This one is pulled away into the onside. So Barnwell and Glenn, they are both out in the middle. 133 for 4. And it's beginning to get interesting, even more interesting out in the middle than when when Chris Gale and Parnell came into the attack. Tied them down just a little bit there, Lenny. But Malik and Griffin, they were the ones that really started the hard work out in the middle.
Well, it's left now to Glenn and Barnwell. Out in the middle, 50 runs needed from 29 balls. Stephen Taylor
On his way to bowl to Glenn. And Glenn is giving himself room to just slap it into the offside. Just a single. So Glenn goes up now to some 2. And he brings Barnwell into strike. So 134. The current run rate is 8.7. The required run rate is 10.5. So Christopher Gale is making himself available now. That one is dabbed away into the offside, just in front of Ebanks.
So the 2 spinners have bowled well, Stephen Taylor and Chris Gale. And they come into the home stretch here, 22 yards, still needing over 10 runs and over. In fact, make it 11.3 to be exact right now.
So it's a seesaw battle. Taylor to Barnwell. Did it into the offside and gets a single. So Barnwell is on 21 from 12.
So who will it be this year? We saw Cavaliers winning last year. We saw California Bears in 2018. And again, Somerset Cavaliers in 2017. US All-Stars in 2016. 2014 was the US Tigers. 2013 was Smart Choice. 2012 and 11 was Trinidad and Tobago. 2010 was United Chargers. And 2009 was Washington Tigers.
16 overs gone, Lenny. Glenn and Barnwell out in the middle. Glenn is on 2, Barnwell is on 21 from 12. It's getting more and more serious now as the over winds down. 4 more overs left. 47 to win. Barnwell and Glenn out in the middle. having a little discussion. And they're looking at some 57 runs to win.
So Javel Glenn and Christopher Barnwell. Barnwell has gone up to 21 already. Javel Glenn, the left-hander. We know he can strike the ball and strike it well, but you'll have to get going here. 47 from 24. As it appears, Mindley again will come into the attack. He's bowled 3 already. None for 18 so far, so he's gone 6 and over. Eddie Edwards.
And his went out to Glenn. And Glenn just pulled it around towards the back of the square. The onside gets a single. Bring Barnwell into strike. Glenn seems like he wanted to come back for run number 2. So he's giving it to Barnwell now and saying, we should have had 2. But Barnwell is having none of that. Barnwell wants to strike.
So 46 from 23. Mindley has gone for about 6 and over. Let's see what happens here. This is over number 17 with 22 yards, needing runs. They need 12 and over from here.
Mindley on his way out to bowl to Barnwell. And Barnwell's pulled it away. And oh my goodness. Are you serious? That run away for 4. Should have been stopped there.
Tried to tap it back into the playing area. Didn't go well, and Barnwell picks up a welcome boundary here for 22 yards.
It's 141 for 4. Barnwell goes to 25. So Mindley turns in the distance, begin to move in, starts and stop. Some movements on the field. Here is Mindley from the northern end. Barnwell just playing it with easy hands into the offside, gets a single.
So 6 runs in the over so far. We've seen the first 3. Javel Glenn, he's faced 4 balls. He's only produced 3 runs. Barnwell has done better in terms of a strike rate scenario. And so they need 41 from 21 balls. Where will it go? Who will win this match? 41 from 21. Still anybody's game.
Mindley on his way now to bowl to Glenn. And Glenn gets a delivery outside line of the off stump, and he's beaten.
Yeah, that's a good slower ball from Mindley. He has a good presence of mind, Mindley, at what needs to be done and what goes on. So he's been very good in this series. As we saw him in the semi-final, and we are seeing him now, and certainly the opportunity would have opened up for him with the likes of Akil Hussein and Kari Pierre not part of the team. This one is cut away. They scamper through for 1 and brings the equation down to 14 needed from some 19 balls.
So 16.5 overs gone, 143 for 4. Christopher Barnwell, he remains on 26. This is the US Open.
Yeah, and you feel that the run rate is beginning to ascend slightly. Is heading up towards 13 and over. So final ball coming up here. Barnwell on strike. Big swing and a miss. This has been a very good over from Mindley. Only 7 off the over. I would think at this juncture of the game, you would take 7 any day. Eddie Edwards, 17 gone, 143 for 4.
Absolutely. So Johnson Charles is doing some good work behind the stump too. As I mentioned early on, that he just came back from Sri Lanka. So Barnwell is on 26. Glenn is on 4. The last wicket, Andrew McCarthy caught off the bowling of Wayne Parnell by Johnson Charles. Stephen Taylor, none for 21 from some 3 overs. And the target is 183. 17 overs gone. And we're about to see the commencement of over number 18. And it will be bowled by Stephen Taylor. So if you're just joining us on MAQ TV. Well, we are welcoming you wherever you might be, what part of the world you are, what time it is in the night, the morning, whatever. Slapped away into the offside. Good looking shot there, Lenny.
Yeah, they will need a lot more than single. This is the over. They'll have to make a move to give themselves a chance. They can't allow, they'll have to get at least about 12 runs in this over just to stay afloat. We've seen the first ball going for 1. So we got 5 more balls. Barnwell on strike. And so 39 from 17 balls. 39 from 17 balls. They've got to take it down piece by piece. They need a very big over here. At least 10, 12 runs and over.
Stephen to Barnwell.
Oh, smashed into the onside. Fielder comes around. A big leap, but Barnwell gets one. A maximum is 150 on the board, and that's a good strike from Christopher Barnwell. And so 33 needed from 16 balls. Big shot.
Big shot indeed. Stephen Taylor would have to come better than that. You have to keep the ball in the park. Barnwell goes up to 32. Glenn is on 7, playing the supporting role. Stephen Taylor on his way out to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell is beaten outside the line of the off stump and well taken behind the stumps by Johnson Charles. Lenny.
Yeah, good ball here from Stephen Taylor. Dot balls will be very important, or balls that are not going for boundaries. This one is, should have done a little bit more with that one. They're running quickly as if they want to. Let's see. Only a single, but Barnwell should have done a little bit more with that one. It was short. It was waiting to be hit, but he didn't time it well.
Timing was the problem right there. So Barnwell goes up to 33, 151 for 4. And it's my understanding that Blog Talk Radio is broadcasting the proceedings here from the Central Broad Regional Park. So 154, 151 for the loss of 4 wicket, 22 yards, Sultan. Stephen Taylor to Glenn. Slapped away. Gets 4.
So it's a good looking shot from Glenn. They're fighting back here. 12 in the over so far. So this is one of the big overs. Yeah, he goes up
for the loss of 4 wicket, 22 yards, Sultan. Stephen Taylor to Glenn. Slapped away. Gets 4. So
yeah, it's a good looking shot from Glenn. They're fighting back here. 12 in the
Well. It's going to be a dandy. Let's see. Stephen Taylor on his way now to Glenn. And Glenn is beaten outside the line of the off stump. The end of the over. The over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, it's 155 for 4. Barnwell is on 33. Glenn is on 9. 18 overs completed. Lenny.
Yes, Eddie Edwards. Now this, the 19th over, could very well decide the game. You've seen it so many times. They need 28 to win, so that's 14 runs and over. And this over here, the 19th, will decide the outcome of the game. Javel Glenn and Christopher Barnwell out in the middle. And Wayne Parnell, it appears, will be given the ball. So it's gonna be a contest here with 28 to win in 12 balls.
So the experience, Wayne Parnell, the South African, prepares to bowl to Barnwell, the big man out of Guyana. Just putting on his gloves now, waiting on Parnell. So the field is well set. Let's see. 19 over is about to commence. Here is Parnell on his way out to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell swings it away down towards the wicket area, gets a single, brings Glenn into strike.
And the question, Eddie Edwards, how many do you want to leave for the last over? The asking rate is a little bit over 14 at this point. So the question is, how much or how many is a good set of runs to leave for the last over? Well, they'll have to get the difference here.
Absolutely. To me, if you really ask me on a serious note, I would say as little as you possibly can. Parnell on his way out to bowl to Glenn. Glenn is beaten outside the line of the off stump, taken by Jansen Charles.
Yeah, good start here from Parnell. He's gone 1 and a dot, so very important here. The asking rate certainly will go up to 16. The question is 27 from 10 balls. This over will be a deciding over in the championship game. And at the moment, Atlanta Param Veers, you've got to say, they have their nose in front.
Or someone else would say the whisker in front. So 18.2. Parnell on his way now to bowl to Glenn. This has gone over the fence. And he's pumping his fist as if to say, yes, I have you on the rope and I'm not going to let up.
So 21 needed from 9 balls. That's a big shot from Javel Glenn. Picked it up nicely. Short ball from Wayne Parnell.
18.2. Parnell on his way now to bowl to Glenn. This has gone over the fence. And he's pumping his fist as if to say, yes, I have you on the rope. And
See what they'll do with this over and then come on to the last over. 21 needed from 9. And we've seen half of the over so far.
It's 162 for 4. Parnell begins to move in on his way now to bowl to Glenn. And then gets a little wrist slapped it in the direction of the bowler. He feels to his own bowling. So it's a dot ball. Gold dust, they say, when you bowl a dot ball. So, very quiet moment, very quiet period.
And Eddie, I think they need about 10 in this last 2 balls. Don't know how it's going to come. Anything less than 10 will make it very hard in the last. So we'll see. Still requires about 15 off this over. We've seen 7 off so far.
Yes, indeed, as Parnell moves in on his way out to bowl to Glenn. And Glenn gets a delivery outside the line of the off stump. He's beaten and once again taken by Jansen Charles. 162 for 4. 18.5 overs gone. Wayne Parnell, 2 for 26 from some 3.5.
Yeah, they've been 3 dot balls in this over. 3 dot balls, 1 single and a 6. So the only big feature here for 22 yards has been a 6 struck by Javel Glenn. Other than that, Wayne Parnell has bowled 3 dots and 1 single.
On his way now to bowl to Glenn. Glenn gets it out into the offside, gone for 1. Will they come back for a second? The testing arm of the bowler. The return comes in at this keep at the striker's end. The bails are off. Let's see, and the umpire finger is in the affirmative as well. So, is it Barnwell? Glenn runs out at the striker's end, so he's coming back to the pavilion at a very crucial and delicate situation. It's 162 for 4, 18.5 overs gone, or it must have been the last ball of the over. So Wayne Parnell 2 for 26 from some 3 overs, and it's all happening here at the Central Broad Regional Park. Lenny Archibald.
Yeah, that will leave it for 20 to get in the last over. It's gonna be some getting here. We've seen 3 dot balls in that over, and that over from Wayne Parnell may have pushed Atlanta Param Veers a little bit ahead. So 20 off 6 balls. Kevin Sinclair comes to the middle, but Christopher Barnwell. I think Wayne Parnell has bowled 3 dots and 1 single.
On his way now to bowl to Glenn. Glenn gets it out into the offside, gone for 1. Will they come back for a second? The testing arm of the bowler. The return comes in at this keep at the striker's end. The bails are off. Let's see, and the umpire finger is in the affirmative as well. So, is it Barnwell? Glenn runs out at the striker's end, so he's coming back to the pavilion at a very extra run for Barnwell and Glenn. So, we see what happened. So is it Dyer going to pick up the attack, or? Yes, he is marking out his run. So it's going to be interesting here.
So Daya is here to defend 16. 6 balls remaining Barnwell will be on strike, and Eddie, the first 3 balls, very crucial here. That will set the tone and the stage.
And
But
something to take note of too, Lenny. Barnwell has sent for his helmet. If that is any indication that he's going to go and go big, the helmet is on the head of Christopher Barnwell. He's going to give everything he has. 20 runs to win, 6 balls to go. Legal deliveries. So Everroy Dyer, I'm pretty much sure that he would have never thought that he would have come in to bowl the last over at such a crucial and delicate situation. One that can give the 22-yard Sultan team the victory, or the other way. Here is Dyer now on his way now to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell is driving. Gets a single. Thought about coming back for a second, but decided against it. Lenny. So good bit of running between these two.
yeah, good one from Everroy Dyer. He'll be hoping that he keeps it in the field of play. And once you do that, then it'll be the Atlanta Param Veers. Kevin Sinclair has asked for the helmet. He's a competent batsman. He's a competent batsman, having opened for the Guyana Amazon Warriors this year. And Barnwell on what, 35?
35
Barnwell
from
on
20.
25. They need 19 in 5 balls. 18 will level the scores and put it into a super over. We haven't seen one of that this season.
Not at all, Lenny. So Barnwell is asking now for a new set of mittens or new set of glove. Being obliged.
So the Atlanta Param Veers, flags are flying high, and they're in a good position here, but still to be called. 19 to win from 5 balls. This is the second year an Atlanta team has made it to the final. We saw Atlanta Fire last year, and now we're seeing the Param Veers.
On his way is Everroy Dyer, on his way now to bowl to St. Clair. St. Clair gets deliveries. Swept out towards the short mid wicket. The bail comes off because Barnwell run down the track. And that was not the plan, or that was the plan. Barnwell is telling him now he should have used a head. Barnwell is upset at St. Clair, but nonetheless, the wicket goes, run out is Barnwell. He goes for 35, and Lenny with 19 runs to win, some 4 deliveries left. Where are you heading?
Yeah, Param Veers advantages certainly will go to Param Veers now. As we see the captain Jesse Singh will make his way out. Barnwell charging down the track. Kevin Sinclair did not respond. And so he's run out. Wicket off the second ball. So still 19 to win the Param Veers.
On his way is Everroy Dyer, on his way now to bowl to St. Clair. St. Clair gets deliveries. Swept out towards the short mid wicket. The bail comes off because Barnwell run down the track. But you can't get back before the business at hand is taken care of. So the captain himself, Jesse Singh, goes out to the middle.
Yeah, certainly dot balls are so important here for Atlanta Param Veers, and in fact, a wicket dot is even deadlier. And so 19 to win in 4 balls. The ball is with Everroy Dyer. Kevin Sinclair, CPL man, out in the middle. He's joined by the captain Jesse Singh.
So Everroy Dyer begins to move in from the commentary box end. On his way to bowl to St. Clair. St. Clair is heaving this one out towards. That's a big lick by a little man over the outstretched hand of the fielder and the deep long off boundary. 170. It is for 6. 19.3 overs gone.
Yeah, that's a big strike from Kevin Sinclair. He's given them hope. 13 in 3 balls. You never know if one of these balls go for 6. It's going to be very interesting. It's not over yet. So Everroy Dyer, a single. run out and 6 in the over so far. And Kevin Sinclair would have done well to hit the ball over long off for 6, trying to make up for the little bit of disappointment with the Barnwell run out. So Everroy Dyer runs in now to bowl to Kevin Sinclair, and oh yeah, big swing and a miss. So that goes through to Johnson Charles. So we're beginning to still see the ebb and flow and the way things have gone here. But 13 in 2 balls, one of this one probably will have to go for 6 just to give them a fighting chance to win here. If not, we could see the Atlanta Param Veers US Open champion 2020.
So Dyer turns just about now. Waiting on Sinclair to get back to his mark. Settles. Dyer on his way to bowl to Sinclair. Skies it.
That's a big shot from Sinclair. It's high in the air. Christopher Gale is coming after it. He doesn't catch it. And they come back for a couple of runs. So 2 runs off the bat of Kevin Sinclair. The big man gets up. And what have we gotten here now? 11 off 1. Damian Ebanks was the man trying to effect the catch. And so if unless ever Dyer bowls no ball and wides, it could be over here for the 22 yards.
So Everett Dyer on his way, right arm over from the commentary box and bowls to Sinclair. And Sinclair's on drive in, takes the catch. So it is all over here.
So the Atlanta Param Veers have won the US Open 2020 season. The celebration has started. All the flags have come out. And Atlanta Param Veers are the champion of US Open 2020. They've gotten the better of 22 yards by some 10 runs, and it's all happening here in Lauderhill at the Central Broward Stadium. So jubilation for the fans of Atlanta Param Veers, and I'm pretty sure they're dancing in their homes back in Atlanta. And why not? They have won the US Open for the first time. They have defeated 22 yards by some 10 runs, and we'll pick up all the action. But Eddie Edwards, this has been a very long and tough battle here for the Atlanta Param Veers. In the end, they'll walk away with the spoils of the US Open. Well played, Atlanta Param Veers. Congratulations to the team, and certainly to the management and the players. They have won here at the US Open. They have written their name into the records, and certainly a big day for the franchise, Atlanta Param Veers, and to the people of Atlanta. Well played, congratulations. And they've gotten the better of 22 yards. 22 yards, well, they're just 10 runs short today. They came up fighting, but that's how it goes. 1 win, 1 lose. So, Eddie Edwards?
So if there was anything such as moral victory, it very well might be a moral victory for the 22 yards Sultan Cricket Club. So
yeah, there we go from the 22 yards Sultan. We've seen a couple of batsmen getting started. Barnwell was there towards the end, but he unfortunately got run out. We saw Trevon Griffith giving them a good start. He made 42, but in the end they were just about 10 runs short. So that's the look at their scorecard.